one but me, yeah. Sure you have to dig real deep to reveal that masterpiece, yeah, yeah. too messed up to say I'm sorry I left you this way. And I'm too empty to shake. My bleeding heart is afraid. I'm running with nothing to chase. Maybe my cold heart will never let go. Even your warm arms can never break stone. Maybe we'll run far and never get close. Even your warm arms can never break stone. Can never break.
only one who sees me. Yeah, I've wasted so much time, but somehow I know you need me. I'm looking for an easy life, won't you take my hand and lead me? Oh, I know you got yourself to find, but I can wait right here, believe me. Oh, another place, another time, another day in the next life. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. You're moving on with your life. But don't you think, if you have a doubt, that there are still things to find out? Is that a risk that you're willing to take? Yeah, 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 'cause I'm still here. I'm still here. Yeah, 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 I'm still here. Only got myself to blame, I excel at hesitating. 'Cause I know you felt the same, but I always kept you waiting. You're going your own way and I love to see you thriving. But you look at me and say, I've got a gift for awful timing. And I know you're happy out there, I don't want to take that from you. Just don't forget me, I swear, and I'll cope. I'll wait to see you. Another place, another time, another day in the next life. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. You're moving on with your life. But don't you think, if you have a doubt, that there are still things to find out? Is that a risk that you're willing to take? Yeah, 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 I'm still here. I know you're happy out there, I don't
Hello and welcome to the first qualifier for Trent on Track. I'm so excited to see these maps played. I'm so excited to get this event started. I am joined here by JunoFoxi, one of the students at the University of Staffordshire and a head organizer of this event alongside myself and Babs. Are you excited for this?
I'm so excited for this. I've been watching the players warm up for a good 10 minutes now. I want to see who we get, because we've got an interesting qualifying system today. We've got our rounds first, and then a full qualifying brackets to determine who gets to come to the arena in Stoke-on-Trent. So yeah, really excited to see what happens today.
Yeah, we have 9 teams who have joined for this first quali day, 4 of which will progress from today. And we've got a lot of the big names who have joined for the first one.
Yeah.
We have a lot of players who were playing another qualifier yesterday, who are playing in Beacon. Epos admittedly not playing, but he was on the cast. We've got Josh there, Acros, Boz, Wizzy. A lot of players who have just done one qualifying and second being thrown into another. So we've got some strong teams. But I think the first idea we'll get of how practiced all these players are is from this first stage of seeding. A lot of players have been offline, hunting, playing on part maps, stuff like this. So the accurate records, they're not worth too much.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, we look at the leaderboards and they've already tumbled. I mean, when we loaded into the map earlier, the 7th place on the leaderboard was still a time over 1 minute, all the way down to 10th now that they're in the 54 range. So people have definitely been practicing offline. So we'll see how it evolves. I think quite quickly the world record is going to tumble on every map as we go through them. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see the order things shake up in, because of course it's not just your individual times that matter, it's the times of your teammate. We're weighting it between the full team, so you have to make sure that you're doing your part. Even if you make a small mistake, you can't just give up on the round, right? You have to try and keep a decent time for your team.
Yeah, but we are getting underway with Qualifier very, very shortly now. Players are getting ready as we will go on to our first map in just a second to get this all underway. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see some of these players.
Yeah.
It's for us as organisers, this has been my personal eyes on. There's some kind of safe bets. Only one team will actually get knocked out in this phase, but it's more about the seeding positions for the bracket that follows to determine the top 4. I think my biggest question mark has to be over the duo of Babs and Poopball. These are 2 very good players, very good focus players who I think are in a bit of a tough position. They can't play the next qualifier, so they have to get through this one. And a lot of the strongest teams have showed up, so they've got to try and basically beat one of the top 4 duos. I think, just from a glance, just looking at the names, top 4 duos that stand out are Boz and Jadon, obviously. Between them, they have won every single British and Irish Pro League. Epos and Divino. Epos obviously needs 0 introduction and is a caliber of player where they'd still probably qualify if I played alongside him. Josh and Key. Josh, an exceptional new talent, and Key, who has been around and brings a bit more experience, very, very good on kind of tech, pair of Evo players. And then finally, Acros and Wizzy. So Poopmore and Babs are going to have to get through one of these, but we are going into round 1. This will be our first chance to look. Early start. Looks like Key and Josh doing well, but you can't really read too much. Into round 1, part 1.
No, the main thing
Idol.
is...
That's a major mistake. Nyaruko as well. We see a mistake from Josh as well, I believe.
Yeah, Josh made a mistake. 2/10 back on people ahead of him, and another mistake as well.
Yeah,
So
he's gone.
that's a round to forget early on. And we do have, you get 1 round on each map where you can mess up. We have the times weighted. We're doing, I think, 5 laps on every track, right?
Yep.
And your worst time is not weighted towards your overall time. So you do have one little mistake in the bag. A lot of players seem to have used theirs already, coming through to the finish here. And
Yeah, we've had a fair few casualties.
yeah, that's a lot. You can already see on the leaderboard there. Results much slower than current world record. Current world record is a 53, and
3-6.
almost all of those players were in high 54s. So
Yeah.
losing a second to the qualifying time, or to their time attack times, I suppose.
Yeah. So the 5 rounds you set are kind of weighted to how much they contribute towards your total. So your fast round will contribute 40%, followed by intervals of 10 afterwards. So you're allowed 1, maybe 2 very scruffy rounds of the Acros interval there. But the moment you have probably more than 2, you're going to be facing an uphill battle. In terms of big names, we
Wizzy Way
see
at the
Josh
back as well.
Ooh, that is rough for that duo. We see Josh up at the front along with Key and Epos, so far better run for the full speed player. Yossi Doctor as well there. In 4th, good performance from them.
Yeah, Epos still in the 53s as well. I think he's the only player to have been in the 53s.
Epos'
both
teammate
rounds.
though,
Yeah,
just crosses
Well,
the
that's-
finish line. Rough run there
it's-
for Divino.
that's the crutch of this event, right? It's not just you. You need a teammate that can back you up.
Yeah. See, 1 immediate casualty. That is Key. That's another duff run for that duo, unfortunately. Key and Josh struggling with consistency here on Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I think some of the duos, I think a lot of people maybe set a couple of good times in offline mode and maybe thought that would be enough practice, but it seems like in rounds, people are stumbling a lot more than perhaps we expected, as another few players get caught out in an overrate section.
Yeah, Key crashes again. That's costly for them. Ball's a little behind the field as well, but not too far down. Oh, Louis missing the jump. Trying to follow this quarter pipe in qualifiers is pretty challenging.
Yeah, the
But-
jump there is really brutal.
So someone who's had a good round here. We got a 53-9 coming out from Josh and Divino, actually.
And
I know.
Divino, yeah.
I know a few people might look at kind of a duo of Epos and Divino and have a few question marks over Divino, certainly. But those question marks need to be on consistency, not pace. He is a rapid driver, and that is a good round for his seeding.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd in that round as well, the pair of them, so it's really good for their average, sticking with very similar times.
Yep. Now, one person I haven't really followed at all is Babs. For all of us who, may have been a bit busy because we have a Beacon qualifier yesterday, I think Babs is probably the single worst case of it. Being one of the head staff of the event and casting for about 5 or 6 hours yesterday. I'm surprised he's even awake to be playing, but I haven't seen much from him on this track, so
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
exhaustion
intrigued to see what the
to,
results look like.
yeah, a lot of exhaustion to shake off,
that's the
and
jump.
oh no,
As is Jadon,
Right into
actually.
the wall.
So
yeah,
definitely some casualties here. In fact,
It's
Jadon's
interesting
going to
to
be
see
lucky
as well.
to finish. He fails to
Really?
jump again. In
Oh,
15 seconds.
no.
He's going to get a DNF on his name. That's not what his duo alongside Boz will be looking at. Well, looking for from this first qualifier.
oh dear.
That will be a DNF.
That's unfortunate. That's the worst case scenario. Is when you DNF, you get plus 20 seconds onto your time. That's really bad for your average.
Yeah, indeed. Hope the rest of his rounds have been significantly cleaner. But yeah, this map is certainly taking some names. Been very few people I've seen kind of getting
I don't
consistent
think we've had
runs.
anyone stay clean yet.
To be honest,
I don't
there's
think
so
we've
many
had-
cars. I've definitely missed some if they have.
There's been a few sort of clean runs, but it's sorry, more what I meant is that nobody has stayed clean throughout every round. Every single person has had at least one crash, and Epos clipping there as well, right into the jump. So respawns all over the place.
We see Josh drive a 53.6. Very fast time from him. So
Yes, we tend to only have one player in the 53s.
yeah, I think a 53 is a very respectable time, as we see a series of nice times coming out in chat for Josh there. So considering that your best time makes up 40% of your time on the track, it's pretty nice to go and get a 53.6 to do that.
Yeah,
But as
really,
quick
really
as the
nice.
game, it is gone.
Yeah, only 5 rounds per map, so you do have to be quick and consistent across. Not that many rounds. It's just a bit more painful each time that you DNF, and when it gets to the point where you've done it 2 or 3 times, had a really bad round, it affects sort of 70% of your score almost. So you do have to be really, really careful. But moving on to the second map now, which is a flower in the ground, I think. A flower of the ground. Oh my gosh, I always get the name wrong. Between the two, I forget whether it's in or of. But yeah, flower of the ground. What do you reckon? What do you think of this map?
I hope you like reactor penalty. Is my main review of it.
I'm on in exact same boat. There's reactor penalty everywhere, or it feels like it's everywhere on this map. Although it's actually only for about maybe 10 seconds of the total map time. But yeah, certainly a effect block and surface combo that I'm not personally very good at, so we'll see how our players handle it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'd expect to see some slightly more consistent rounds here. We're gonna lose a few to like the precision, as we immediately have someone dropping right to the back there.
Was that Lizzie?
It was Darklight,
wasn't
I
Lizzie.
believe. Darklight
It
and
was
Twitty
Darklight.
seem to have fallen to the back. But other than that, people are keeping it clean.
Epos leading the pack as expected, really.
Yeah,
With
he made
someone of,
Divino
his
up in
caliber.
third as well.
Yeah, the pair of them are doing really, really well.
Yeah,
Which not
Babs
particularly
clips.
unexpected. Oh, Babs. No, Babs.
Bailey recovers it. We see a few more casualties falling. I think there's Louis into a pole. But Babs actually recovered back quite well. Still, about equal boss there. Someone from the front just went. I've not catch
was
who that
Wizzy.
was. It was Wizzy.
Wizzy died.
Yeah. Second Wizzy. Josh picks up another round win. He's looking good.
And that's world record as well, I think. 1 minute .276. I think that's the public world record now. So I have no idea if that's a solid time, or if it's gonna keep coming down further and further along. But we'll see. Everyone seemed to get within a second of that. So
Ooh,
Epos is
the
flipped.
start. Right, including
Yeah.
Epos. That'll be his freebie being used up a bit earlier than he probably would have wanted here on a flower in the ground. Flower of the ground.
Yeah, flower of the ground.
You got into our head now.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean? As soon as you think of it, it sticks there. It stays in your brain.
Yeah.
Oh,
But at the front, we see Boz challenging for a round. I feel like he stayed largely anonymous in this start, but yeah, Boz and Davino and Key scrapping for second, third, and fourth. But it is Josh again with a massive lead here. So
yeah.
that duo of Evo Esports back from the grave, looking at where did Davino go?
Davino, no.
Where did Davino go?
Crashed on the left turn into the finish and got sent to the Shadow Realm. That was so unfortunate. They were second.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Well, we see the 1 minute barrier broken by Josh there. 59.9 coming out.
59.9, yeah.
Very impressive time. I am just going to double check that is public world record, but
I'm pretty sure it is.
If it isn't, I will be shocked.
I don't see a competing one. Oh my gosh, half the field is gone again after the first jump into the reactor grass, including Wizzy. So another bad round for him. Up the front, it's Boz, Epos, Acros. They're all pretty even way up front.
Yeah, and of course Josh is there.
The dirt. Yeah, Josh is there too.
Yeah, Boz, bit of a wonky line, but gonna mostly recover it. So, Josh versus Epos at the front. I hope we get to see... What on earth happened to Epos? That was a weird mistake.
Clips into the grass.
Oh, and Key...
Oh no!
Key clips right at the end. That is very unfortunate for him as he was on a good run. But it is going to be Josh leading from Macros and Boz here on round 3 of Flower of Ground. And yes, I can confirm that 59.9 was world record by about a tenth of a second.
59.9. Yeah, I thought it might be, and Josh has now also set second in the world with a 1 minute point 2. So top 2 times, well, would be Josh if the second time showed, because only the best time shows on the leaderboard.
The local records aren't quite up to date with the actual records.
With the actual records.
But yeah, the point 2 would be an absolutely terrible performance of only 4th world.
Oh, that's awful.
Pretty rough there. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh looking scary on this map. Now, in this format, you do get a ban, so certainly during this qualifier phase anyway, so I would expect to see Flower of the Ground being banned against Key and Josh.
Definitely. And
pretty much immediately.
I think there's going to be teams as well, if they get into that nightmare matchup of facing against Epos first round, that also look to ban it as he comes home to win this round. 1 minute point 2 again. That seems to be the sort of consistent winning time around here.
Yeah. Good performance that round from Yussi and Babs, actually. They haven't always have a great start, but that was a pretty good round from the pair of them, which they really need. We see a few more mistakes at the back. I've got a nasty feeling that's probably Nyaruko. I have no evidence to back that up. I hope not.
Oh no, I can see them. They're alive.
Yeah, Babs is still alive. I don't see a Nyaruko anywhere.
Uh-oh.
I'll be honest, when you see a bright blue cargo flinging into a wall, it's a pretty consistent bet as to who it is, to be honest. Very fast lane Nyaruko, not very consistent.
Yeah, 2 seconds back from the lead at the moment, so not the end of the world, but also still not the time you want for the averages, as Epos clips again into this grass section, which I have to say, that grass left-hander is very, very difficult to master, especially on the exit back onto this reactor penalty.
Yeah. So, bit of an odd round there. Josh and Epos, who have kind of been the dominant force on this map, both having dodgy rounds as it is Wizzy who wins it. Key finally gets the AT here.
Hey,
For reference,
well done,
to get
Key.
AT, you have to be in the top 5 players on the track in the world. So mine
Yeah,
rather
so
went for
pretty
long.
good.
Oh, we're up to 6 now because of Keys there. So
On to the next map already, Wildfire. Now, this map, right? I want to see if you agree with me here, Pad, because having played all of the maps, I have to say, while this is one of the, I suppose, simplest maps in terms of there aren't that many effect blocks and things to catch you out, it is also, in my opinion, the hardest map to get a finish on when you don't have the sort of optimal line.
yeah, there's a lot of kind of half block turns. There's a lot of tricky, twisty parts to this, and plenty of
Yeah.
capacity to just clip a wheel into the wall, into off the track, whatever. I mean, Josh just demonstrating on my screen anyway about that. So, yeah, from what I could tell from this initial warm-up run, which it's warm, it doesn't mean anything. We have one person still on a clean run during warm-up, which could be an omen of what's to come.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the finish on this map, or not quite at the finish, towards the end, you have to jump across with a sort of slightly left-handed sausage block, jumping onto the plastic segment. You'll certainly see it when we get to it, because I think a lot of players are going to struggle with it.
Oh, Josh immediately clips.
Oh no,
That is
not a good omen. for
already a
starting
freebie
the
gone.
round.
There goes Epos as well, and Divino towards the back. So lots of mistakes from the top runners. A lot of them going to be having to use that
Yeah.
freebie round quite early. But one duo who I don't think we've actually seen a huge amount of who are having a great round is Jadon and Boz. And by the time I finish that sentence, they aren't anymore.
I think
Jadon
Jadon
clips
just
the
clipped.
outside dirt.
Boz
So-
is still ahead though.
Yeah, still going well for Boz, battling with Key, as well as Akros, and Epos, despite an early clip, has managed to climb back up to 4th place this round, so really it's time, not position that matters, but it's still a pretty impressive feat. Akros goes flying,
Oh no.
and I think your statement of this being the hardest one to get a clean run on, yeah, it's looking
Yeah.
pretty true, and I think the only
3
players
players.
there to really get a clean run look like Key, Boz, and Epos. So this track
Yeah.
catching people out already.
But even
This is
Epos
gonna be messy.
clipped right at the start of the map, right? So
True.
these times as well, I think all of them must have clipped, right? In order for Epos to finish only 2/10 behind.
Epos can't just be that fast, to be honest. If he
that's-
only lost
that's
like
true, I
0.3 in a clip,
suppose.
he'll make that back up against
Yeah, that's
almost
true.
every player.
Yeah, we've seen him do that before, time and time again. So yeah, but the clips on the first turn here are
Ooh, by Key.
Yeah, Key's gone.
Yeah. Last round's winner, taken down by the first checkpoint, unfortunately.
Oh,
But able to carve its way back through the field as we see mistakes from everyone. Babs clips, we have a crash from Divino. But some people are still keeping it clean up at the front. We can see Epos and Wizzy looking pretty strong in front positions, along with Josh, who had a pretty rancid start to this track in round 1, but looking far better from round 2. I'll be intrigued to see what kind of pace.
Danger trio, right?
Yeah, I'll be very intrigued to see what kind of pace we have here from Epos. World record is a 56.7 by him, and we get a 56.8.
Close.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we could see that world record fall in this round.
I think so.
Well,
I
not
think
this round,
so.
it's the seeding. And if it's not in seeding, it'll be at some point today when we switch it into the duo formats.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, very close to world record there, and we've got 3 more rounds on this map, so we'll see what players can do about getting up onto that world record leaderboard. And I think, yeah, as we sort of alluded to, Epos, Wizzy, Josh all seem to be having a good time so far on the map. As I say that, Wizzy clips. So we'll see if they can keep up the consistency. I think it's pretty clear that EPOS seems to be the consistently fastest of the whole group right now, but we'll see how it evolves as we head into the grass downhill once more. I'm waiting to see if anyone... Oh, Jadon's so close to failing it.
Rough.
Loses so much speed. That's kind of what I was talking about with how difficult that jump is. You get slightly offline and you have instantly lost all of your speed for the entire next segment, including the end. You can't make risky finish if you don't get that jump perfectly. So, yeah. 56-8 from EPOS again. So,
yeah, same round twice in a row. That's what you expect.
That's the EPOS dominance that I guess you could say we expected coming into this. We'll see if anyone can try and take a round.
Well, this round, yes, I'm gonna go with a very strong yes, given he is currently in 12th place.
Yeah.
He'll still probably make it back up to the top 5, given how these rounds have gone so far, but I think there's too much of a gap to him and the likes of Josh and Witty up at front, so there's be a slight, well, the first kind of rough round for EPOS here, but still carving his way through the field quite happily.
Yeah. Oh, watching a couple people further back in the field clipping as Boz way down the order. As we go over the jump, Key does not make it. And was that Josh at the front there with?
Yeah,
crash?
he's dropped a lot of speed. Might have to opt for the safe finish there. So,
a
few messy runs. Wizzy and Yossi looking good there. So good round for the duo of Yossi and Babs there.
Yeah, very good.
What's
quite lucky as well with EPOS making a mistake there, so it will help sort of the comparative averages by quite a bit.
This is final round here.
Yeah.
On Wildfire. I imagine a few players will be quite happy to see the end of this track, to be honest. It has been a tough one.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet, right? I mean, these maps are very, very difficult, and you know, they all knew what they were getting into, but yeah. I can't expect them all to be sad to see the map go.
Yeah, for sure. I can see this being banned a fair bit. But it is EPOS and Wizzy leading the way again with Akros. And Divino third and fourth, so very good for those two duos.
I just saw
and Wizzy's into the wall as well. Well, that is unfortunate. EPOS gets another 56. I think the only driver to break the 56, well, yeah, 56 minute barrier, and he's done it, I think, 3 times.
3
out of
separate
5,
times,
which is not bad at all.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we were talking about last map might be banned against EPOS. I think this one might be an even...
Well, last one would be the ban against Josh. This is a ban against EPOS.
Yeah, this is 100% a ban against EPOS, right? I'm expecting
if any of the players have the stream open in the background, first of all, why? Second of all,
yeah.
We're gonna make some notes for you. What are good bans?
Hint. Try and ban the maps.
Ban Wildfire against EPOS. Ban Flower of Ground against Josh.
I mean, what if they play one another?
Well, if they play well on another, then I think you're just a bit stuffed. To be honest, you're probably a bit stuffed if you end up running into Josh or EPOS at any point. They've been looking strong, and their teammates have been doing a reasonably good job as well. We've seen a few very good rounds from Key and Divino, so I think from this phase of qualifying, though, they're certainly the duo who have stood out most to me. Or the duos.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel I've seen... There's been some good rounds from Witty, and a couple from Acros, But certainly, I don't think Wizzy and Acros nor Jadon and Boz are looking super strong based off tracks we've seen so far. But that can all change. We still have 2 more tracks to go. And certainly with this kind of weighted seeding, when you see someone crash a bit, it's often not actually that big a deal. Because if they crash 2 out of 5 rounds, that's only 10% of their score affected by it. 90% comes from your best 3 rounds, so there's a chance the likes of, Boss, Jadon, and maybe got a little more anonymous under the surface and could still end up posting respectable times.
Maybe, right? But we've seen as well that almost everyone seems to crash, or at least clip something. For every round but one, it feels like. We get sort of 1 clean round from each player on each map. With the exception of Epos last map, but we'll see how it shakes out in the end. Obviously, this map, peak, which that was peak from all the players there, getting the no grip 360.
Yeah,
pretty much perfectly.
That is by far the tightest round we've had. That is the top round. 7 players finishing within a 10th there.
That is the closest rounds, and all a couple tenths back from world record, I think. I don't know if that matches up with the local records at all. But that was a really, really good round, so hopefully we see more of that.
Yeah, let me have a look what the actual world records are. 5 of the top 11 times were just set in that round.
Oh my god.
So world record is a 0.5 by Josh. Josh, Epos, Wizzy, and Davino with the strongest times here, as well as with a 50.8, so might be a good round. Clip from Epos there. So another one who will fall. Louis, as I mentioned, has a very good time here. Sadly, currently running in 18th. Right next to Wizzy as well, who is having a rough one, as is Josh. So the leaderboard meaning absolutely nothing here. As
Boz and Jadon
and Boz, after I said I haven't been super impressed by what I've seen so far, that's a bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, that is...
Those times, the 4th and 5th world.
0.006. 4th and 5th worlds?
Yep.
Okay.
Admittedly, there are a lot of offline times. Don't get too excited by this.
Yeah, there are a lot of
for
offline
anyone.
times, but still, I mean...
It's still respectable.
Yeah.
Go and drive that.
Exactly. Especially in rounds as well, you don't have the opportunity to just keep respawning until you get the time that you want. As Darklight there respawns off the start after a clip.
Yeah, with an Ice 360, I would have thought this would have been home turf for Darklight. Very, very good ice player.
Seems not so... well, it's no grip, It's not quite...
it's not quite proper ice. The traditional ice players will have no time for it, but...
Yeah.
This round, we see a few of the stronger names towards the front here. Far less crashes. Okay, not from Josh.
Ooh.
So, it seems like it is Epos and Acro's leading way, actually.
Yeah.
He is right up at the front. So, finishing in second there. That's going to be a nice time to add to his average.
The usual suspects, Epos coming in first.
Yeah. Anyone out of the ordinary? Well, we see both
Babs
members of Good Focus, Babs and Yossi, in the top 8, so that'll be a reasonable round from those two. I'll honestly be curious to see whether that duo can seed above any of them, in front of either Boz and Jadon or Wizzy and Acros.
Yeah, it feels like
they could cause a bit of an upset, but it could be tough.
Feels like they've been sort of quietly consistent so far. Not necessarily, setting the record times, but keeping up most of the time, and I think mostly avoiding crashes. We've seen Babs a few times get absolutely destroyed by walls, but we can chalk that up to tiredness,
Yeah, he did do 5 hours of casting for Beacon yesterday, as well as stress of running the whole thing. So I'm quite impressed he's been able to turn up at all, honestly. But talking about Euro, we see. Yeah. Talking about Euro, though, we see a good run there from Yossi in third place, 0.8. Very good time from Epos there with 0.6 as well.
Yeah, and I don't think Babs was too far behind, although not in the top 10 there. So another good round for the team, and we go into the final round of Peak. Or I believe it's the final round, at least.
Yep, this is the final round.
Yeah.
It is Yossi who gets the best start here, so I'll be very intrigued to see how Yossi's scores have ended up overall, because I think they've been very anonymously just chipping away at this seeding, and I think doing a reasonably good job of it, so they are up in that top back alongside your usual suspects, your Josh, your Epos, your Divino crashing into a wall.
Oof.
That is unfortunate. Darklight there on a good run as well.
Yeah, finally getting the ice slide, the ice 360 of dreams.
Moves up into second place. Considering this round, assuming he can keep it clean, will count for 40% of his overall, he will be very happy to have clocked in a 0.8 there. Or low 0.9.
By 0.005.
Yeah, that's a second 0.9 actually.
50.5 from Epos, by the way.
Yeah, 588. Yeah, that's very impressive.
That's a strong time. Once again, proving to be consistent around these tracks.
Yeah. As we move on to the very last track.
Just
one more to go.
The player chat. Macros asking Epos to sign the Steam account. Oh dear.
We might have a brief pause as it looks like Belarus has unfortunately disconnected one of the, a member of the all-Welsh lineup of himself and Twitties. So
I hope they can reconnect.
If they can reconnect in time.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we'll be able to pause the server. I'm not sure how this particular server setup works, but
given how I've played enough these servers to know that once you see the player actually leave, they can usually reconnect.
Yeah.
The biggest issue you have with Trackmania servers is a player will crash. There we go, now they've reconnected. They'll crash, but they don't leave the lobby. Yeah. So you end up not being able to rejoin because you're already in the lobby. So, yep.
Well, luckily got it sorted out.
Belarus is back. And something we haven't really talked about here. 8 teams go on to the next phase. And we have 9 teams playing. So there will be one team who doesn't actually get to play in the bracket, which is very unfortunate. Of course, I think the larger point of this is to seed for bracket, as getting good seeding position at bracket will be very useful.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you get a high seeding, you get first seed in bracket plays 8th seed in the times here. So if you are low down in the standings and your team is currently 7th, you might think, oh, it's fine. I get into the bracket no matter what. But you could be facing against Epos in your first bracket round.
Yeah, it'll make it very difficult to actually go and qualify. Exactly.
So you have to really, really push, try and get as far up as you can to avoid the strongest teams, which I don't think Divino's been exactly dragging down the average at all, so I think it's a pretty clear, or in my eyes, it seems like there's a pretty clear favourite for who is going to be first seed as we go into...
I'm not sure I agree. I think Josh and Key.
Do you think Josh and Key?
Also,
they have both been very, very consistent as well.
Yeah, I think Epos has probably looked like the strongest player here, but I think my point is proven a bit by the fact you have Key and Josh in second and third. Epos clocks in a 54.1, 3 attempts in front of anyone else on the track. Before I get too excited, let's just see how good that time is
Yeah,
compared to
how
leaderboards.
good is that time?
That is... I mean, it's pretty rubbish. It's only third world.
Oh, terrible.
I think he's a bit washed, to be honest.
Yeah.
The record holder here is Josh, though. So,
Oh, okay.
we'll see how he gets on. You see the first few people falling, mistakes from Rebel, mistake from Acros at the back as well.
I have to say, I think this is...
Oh, mistake from Epos.
Oh, Epos. It's gone right to the back, yeah. But I have to say, I think this is my favorite map from the whole pack. I think the decorations here are really, really, really cool. As well as the Ice 360 at the end is very unique, even among Ice 360s.
Well, I mean, what makes it unique is it's not ice.
Yeah, true, sorry. No good 360s, I suppose. But, yeah, Wizzy coming through to win that round. 54-2. Not the worst time.
Very good time.
Yeah.
You know, so good performance from Wizzy. Divino there as well, stepping up and around where, I mean, I was going to comment about maybe Epos didn't look as strong. He was still fourth.
He was still fourth, so that's the thing.
But
didn't really lose that much time on this round.
Yeah. 3 rounds left of the seeding. If the players have anything left in the tank, anything left to go and show, one last-ditch effort to drag themselves up the leaderboard, drag the duo up the leaderboard. Now is the time to go and show it. We see Jadon, Key, and Josh towards front, following, of course, behind Epos, who feels fairly inevitable at this point when it comes to anything BITM related.
Yeah, but
Although,
there you go.
Never mind.
There's the caster curse.
Yep, that's
Good
the
job,
best caster curse of the day. We have Epos go into the wall. The inevitability of the wall proving just as strong as his success. But now it is a very, very good round for the Evo duo. Josh and Key. Key missed the finish.
Oh no.
Oh, he bounces
where are
out
they?
to the left. They landed on the finish block up against the wall and then had to like kind of drive along the wall to be able to get in. That was really, really unfortunate there.
That's a really, really, really unfortunate finishing time, but yeah, what can you do?
Yeah,
Maybe
it
just take
happens.
that as as one of the lower ranked rounds if you can get as good a time again, but finish it properly.
So, first mistake this round coming out from Josh. So, unfortunate for that lineup. We see Epos and Boz, teammates before, and they are now far more separated, given Boz is just driven into a wall. So, there we go. I can't really mention a player before they drive into a wall.
There's every time you say a name, it's
just how it goes.
If any of them are watching the stream, you better be afraid. Every time Patster says your name.
Well, one duo who together looked to be having quite a good round this time. Oh, what was that 360 by Key?
360 was amazing.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Jumped from about 4th up to 1st.
Yeah.
Beautiful turn there. Very good run for Wizzy and Acros. That team picking up 2nd and 3rd there with very respectful times. So they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and Bab's still up as well in the top 10. Along with Jussie.
Yeah, I think... I'm not sure where that team's going to seed. I can't imagine any lower than 5th, though. They have looked almost like best of rest behind these 4 stronger teams. One round left. One last opportunity to try and bump up your score.
Ooh.
We see the duo of Moonvale, Divino, and Epos leading 1 and 2 with a bit of a gap as well. We've come to expect this from Epos, but it's good to see from Divino there. We have a clip from previous round when he won't be on the top step this time, and we get a clip from Epos as well. He'll drop back down. So
yeah, I was about to say it would be a statement to really make if you finish 1-2 as a duo in the final round, but not really going to happen.
Yeah, and it is, in fact, Divino does hold on with a 0.2. respectable time, ahead of Jadon and Josh. So that is it. That is the wrap on seeding.
Yeah.
I think the main takeaway is there are a few players who look very strong, a few players who maybe don't look as strong as we could have expected, but these tracks are proving challenging, to say the least. Now, as the tournament organisers, this is the point where we disappear for a bit and get very stressed. I really hope all the data came in, all the times came in, all the waiting's going to work.
I'm so nervous. I'm like hovering over the link to open up the spreadsheet to see that it.
I haven't looked yet. I'm scared.
I'm panicking. We'll find out as soon as we can. But yeah, the bracket should be ready in not too long an amount of time.
Yeah, so I think for now we're going to throw for a break. Well, we go and get our calculators out, do all the number crunching behind the scenes, and get a bracket. We will come back as soon as we have that, as soon as we have a list of the 8 teams who will be competing, what order they seeds in, and what the first set of matches are going to look like. Stay tuned, and we will be back shortly.
These things that I didn't do, and I can't take the blame, but this empty bed is missing you. You're getting harder to lose, but I don't wanna get used to all this back and forth we do. I won't take the blame just because I know you want me to. But I hate it when you feel like this, saying things that don't exist. 'Cause I know I told you everything. I'm only covered in your fingerprints. I'm not gonna lose all the loving I got left in my lungs. I'm not gonna waste all the feelings that you've gone and undone. Oh, I hate it when you feel like this.
We're getting closer. The body's only just begun. You move slower. I focus in on you and us, and we move. Tingles all over. Every time I feel your touch, I can't get sober. I'm drunk on our chemistry, this burning energy. Your body talks to me, leaving unspoken. I'm feeling emotions, yeah. Your body talks to me. Your body talks to me, leaving unspoken. I'm feeling emotions, yeah. Your body talks to me. And this is only the start.
to worry anymore. Just hold me when I'm about to fall. You catch me when I fall into despair. You give me breath when I need air. Holding close these memories, 1,000 leagues under the sea. Deep down, deep down. Find the calm in the ocean blue. Always leads me back to you. Deep down, deep down. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. You told me not to worry anymore. Just hold me when I'm about to fall. You catch me when I fall into despair. You give me breath when I need air. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you. I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, for you. When I'm hurting, you are my remedy. Floating high on your energy, I'll go deep, deep down for you, yeah.
Visions keep on haunting me, distorting all reality. It's taking all my energy. So will you be my remedy? Could you lift me up way above the ground? And when you're around, I ain't coming down. Could you lift me up way above the ground? And when you're around, I ain't coming down. I ain't coming down. haunting me, distorting all reality, taking all my energy. So will you be my remedy? 'Cause you lift me up way above the ground, and when you're around, I ain't coming down. 'Cause you lift me up way above the ground, and when you're around, I ain't coming down. I ain't coming down. And when you're around, I ain't coming down.
I can't keep hiding the way I'm feeling. You give me something no one can compete with. If you told me I'm the only one you're thinking of, you could hold me, I would tell you there's nobody else. I want you and no one else. You make me feel like won't ever deny the way I feel alive. You make
Hello and welcome back to Trent on Track Qualifier Day 1. We have the 8 teams seeded who will be going through to this stage. Initial I can speak, I promise. Commiserations to Twos. They unfortunately do not make it. But outside of that, we have our 8 teams. And we have the initial bracket set up.
Yeah.
So we can see what the teams are looking like. So kicking off in match number 1, we have seeds 1 and 8. Evo versus, well, another part of Evo, to be honest, with Darklight facing off against Josh and Key. In the second match, we have our second seed, Epos and Divino playing as Moonveil, up against Bonks or Us, which is Nyaruka and Rebel. I can't think of a more fitting name for that team, to be perfectly
It's a
honest.
beautiful name.
It's very fitting for those two. Next up, we have Within Acros versus Idolus and Comrade Louis, which are the lineups of the Retirement Home versus Walls. And then, finally, the match we will be following. We have Bosbez and Jadon up against Yussi and Babs. The seeding results turned out pretty... There were kind of 3 groups of teams. The top 4 teams were relatively close together in terms of their points. I mean, Wizzy and Acros versus Boz and Jadon came down to like a single overall average point. There's then a small gap back to Babs and Yussi, and then beyond that, a pretty hefty gap back to the next 3 teams. So, I think Babs and Yussi have the most chance of trying to upset this top 4.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
They certainly have a shot here. Against Geese Can Fly. Now,
Geese can fly.
I don't want to sound insulting to anyone on my team in particular. But Jadon is a very intelligent person who has a habit of unfortunately asking incredibly stupid questions sometimes. Hence the last minute rename to Geese Can Fly, as this was unfortunately considered news to Jadon. So that's where that team name is coming from.
Yeah. That's something to be reminded of for the entire tournament, I think. Yeah,
they're not letting that one go.
Absolutely.
It's the most recent one after asking how you restart a browser.
Yeah. But I'm
So-
I'm super interested in this match. I really want to see how it turns out because like you said, in the qualifier there was, or in the seeding rounds, there was a bit of a gap between these two teams in the points, right? It wasn't as big as the gap behind between Babs, Jussie, and the rest of the field, but there still was that gap. So I want to see if it makes any difference that they're playing in this the points system as opposed to the timed rounds. If they can pull their act together as a duo, and well, I say pull their act together, they're already playing really well. But if they can pull something off against Boz and Jadon, it would be really, really interesting to see. And I think we're actually already through pick and ban for the
We
match.
are.
So first map is Peak.
That'll be interesting to say the least. It's got that very funky no grip ice 360 in the middle, certainly the defining feature of the track. So that is first pick. Second up is Flower of the Ground. And then finally we will be rounding it up on... No, sorry, apologies. It's Wildfire as second track and then Flower of the Ground as the third, with bans on Perfect Blue and It's Soccer Not Football. But that can all wait, because we have players, we are live.
Yeah.
This is what we're
in the
here
round.
for. And the first round going the way of Jussie right now, looking like a very good start for the Dutchman, one of only 2 international participants at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, but not
So-
pulling away too much, and Boz and Jadon are still in 2 and 3, so beautiful ice 360.
That was messy from a lot of people. There
Yeah.
we see clips from Boz and Babs behind, so it's going to be on Jussie to try and rescue a draw here, which he does. A 51-1 coming out as the
Babs.
first time. Babs
Having to go
needs
for
to
the
go
safe
and
fin.
finish, which he does, and we kick this off with a 1-1.
Well, not how I expected the first round to go. I thought that, one team would definitely get an early lead, but we'll see if it shakes out this close throughout the rest of it. It was very, very close up front between Jussie and Jadon, so let's see what they can do now, because Jussie is now just slightly ahead with Babs 2/10 or 1/10
from
back,
Jussie.
and yeah, there's a clip right away, so it's now looking more likely to be an ace for the side of Geese Can Fly. Jadon and Boz are exactly on top of each other heading into the Ice 360 here, and we'll see who can get it clean. It looks like Boz did. It looks like Jadon did.
Jadon,
but
he got the
clipped.
360 clean, but went and clipped, so Babs now has a chance to go and deny the ace. It is going to come down absolutely to wire here. Jussie's here as well. And despite the two of them being within a 10th of Jadon there, neither get past him. And that is a very important ace here for Geese Can Fly.
Yeah, less than a 10th for both of them behind, and that's the kind of round that you don't really want to lose when you're only that tiny amount
immediate no
back.
slide.
Oof.
Babs having a rough time here. You see a big no slide from him. Mistake from Boz dropping him about half a second behind. So we are going into a 1v1 here between Jussie and Jadon to some extent.
Yeah,
These
and the gap right
two-
now enough to maybe be looking at a draw, because 1/10, it's not that much time, but as long as he can keep it, it'll be completely fine as we go into this Ice 360 once again.
Jussie
Does
gets
get it clean.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Lovely
very,
job
very
there.
clean.
Yeah, lovely job there from the Dutchman. He is going to go cross the line in first, salvage a draw here, but draws still do slightly favour Geese Can Fly, because it marches the map towards its end. It
Yeah.
progresses the match. And I never like to call out a player, but Babs needs to get some good rounds in to be able to support what a good job Jussie has been doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's at least they get the draw, because it's painful to have mistakes like that if you're Babs and sort of holding back your teammate. But as long as you aren't losing too many points from it, it's okay, and you can still come back. And this looks like a much closer round overall. And as I say that, Babs immediately hits the wall.
Yeah, goes in.
I'm so sorry.
That's your caster curse.
That's why I cast the curse. I said the round was going to be close, but it could still be close again between Jussie and Jadon heading towards this draw here, side by side, going into this final drift. It's going to be less than a tenth between them. Oh, it's going to come down to the jump. 0.84 or 0.084. Jadon takes it, and that is a victory for Geese Can Fly.
Yeah, both Yossi and Jadon very well respected within the tech community. So neither of them able to get an advantage over the other on that final drift, and that moves things very close to the end now. For Geese Can Fly, an ace here will wrap up the track. We've seen them get one before. Yossi will be doing everything they can to stop this. They've had such a strong performance on this map, but not been able to turn it into the results they need.
Yeah,
Babs still there or thereabouts, a few temps down, so it's going to require a very, very good eyesight here if they want to get back into the match.
Yeah, here they go.
They almost need an ace at this point.
Ooh. Jussie loses speeds.
Yeah, poor 360 from Jussie. Going to deny the ace, gonna keep the map alive, but no more, unfortunately.
Yeah,
for
one more
good
round.
focus. Yeah, that drags us onto a 9-4 scoreline.
Now they
Good
have
focus. They need 2 aces in a row, or it's over. There's no other way this goes.
And Babs, much as they're probably extremely tired still from all the casting yesterday, and probably a bit battered from the rounds earlier. They do need to step up on this final round. Couple of tenths back already, so needs to claw back that time if they are going to have any hope of staying alive on this map. But it looks like that gap is only building, so going into the Ice 360 now, see if everyone can get it clean. Oh no.
Yossi does not.
That ends the hopes.
Yeah, that will spell the end here. On peak, this will be going 12-4 in the favour of Geese Can Fly, and they will be very happy with that match score.
Yeah. Solid performance from Geese Can Fly. That was very consistent from the pair of them. Jussie was up there in terms of times, but unfortunately for good focus, Babs not quite able to be consistent. But we'll see if that changes going on to our second map, which is Wildfire. So, I think we mentioned it in the rounds. One of the toughest maps that we have in the pool.
For sure.
And this one, I don't think this one went all that well for good focus, if I remember correctly. I think this was one of the maps that Jadon was a lot more consistent at than perhaps other players, so we'll see if they can do anything, but it's looking a bit bleak.
I'm going to go and disagree with you. Out of all the tracks, there's only one where good focus performed better than Geese Can Fly.
Oh, was it this one?
And it was Wildfire.
Oh my goodness.
As we haven't mentioned it, this is the pick from good focus. So
right.
Makes a lot of sense why they've gone for that one.
Now that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, well, I stand completely corrected. I thought, in my head, I had it that this was one of the maps that they had both crashed a lot on, but I must have been mistaken. But we'll see how these rounds shake out as we get into the first one, and yeah, no clips so far in that first left-hander. That's one of the big sort of danger points early on in this map, followed up by this tricky right-left onto the sausage block. Everyone's still staying alive, all within a tenth and a half. So
yeah, Bab's looking a lot better here as well.
Yeah.
Still hanging on to the tail of the pack at least, able to pick up many mistakes that happen.
Yeah, but we do see
That
Boz
said-
and Jadon taking a little bit of a lead. They're both ahead heading into this downhill grass segment before this tricky jump onto the plastic. And they're staying ahead. Oh no.
Oh, that is a big mistake from Yossi, and that gifts
Yeah.
around completely. 2 geese can fly, as they do in fact fly into the finish, separated by no more than 1.5 frames on your average 60Hz monitor.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate end, because it was looking like the pair of Good Focus could maybe keep up with Geese Can Fly throughout the map, but I mean, they were a few tenths back anyway and falling further behind still, but that clip really sealed the deal. Oh, and Boz.
Clip from Boz. This is the kind of opportunity that Good Focus really need to be able to try and take advantage of. So that is one of the geese down. Will the other make a mistake? Well, someone else does make a mistake, but it is not a goose.
No, it is
Yes, he don't
Jesse. 3 tenths back now from the leader, but still 3 tenths ahead of Boz, so...
I'm not sure the scoreboard is quite telling
the
the full
scoreboard
story
was not
there.
updated. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, Boz
They'd
back
be
in
losing
front,
more
so
and more
Babs now has to step up to force a draw. Perhaps.
It's not impossible, but I think at this point will require a mistake from Jadon. If you get into this ending section, not much can go wrong here unless you miss finish, which they do not.
Jussie
Yossi
overtakes
manages
Boz.
to hold on, limits the damage to a draw.
Yeah.
And this scoreline is very reminiscent of the first track.
Yeah, definitely so far, right? Hopefully we don't see the exact same thing play out, at least for Good Focus's sake.
Yeah. What's next on the agenda if we were to copy? I think it's another draw. then a victory for Geese Can Fly. So if that happens, you know it's
If we get a draw and then a victory for Geese, then yeah, somebody's done a little bit of copy pasting on the match script, and just see their clipping. So maybe
it's not looking good for a draw, to be honest. It's looking very good for an 8 for Geese Can Fly.
Yeah, definitely. Half a second ahead now of Babs is the closest player to them. And doesn't look like Babs is making any particular impression on that time, so provided they don't make a mistake here in this final jump, looks like an ace for Geese Can Fly. So, and just even crashing
the Geese
the finish.
Flying in a victory formation. Looking strong, and they are at match point. One more ace, and they can clean this up. Pick up a dominant win over Good Focus, and really dash the hopes that Yossi and Babs have of qualifying. That is a mistake from Babs, putting them into the wall. One very unfortunate thing for the Good Focus lineup is they can only play this qualifier, so if they don't get through here, that's it. They're not going to have a shot in the second one, which is very unfortunate.
But this qualifier bracket is double elimination, so they will not be out yet just from this match. They will still have one more chance, and they will probably be playing one of the teams that was weaker than they were in the qualifier, or in the seeding rounds. Sorry. So all hope is not lost.
And certainly not in this round.
Make it through, and yeah, this round as well.
No, Yossi! What was that? The first opportunity for Good Focus to actually pick up the victory here. Something better than just limiting the damage to a draw.
No,
and Yossi jumps too far to the right. It's not going to make a major difference in terms of the overall score, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, even if they
an
pick
extra
up an
point
ace there,
would have been nice.
Yeah.
An ace maybe would.
Ace maybe would spark a little bit of hope, but they'd still have to get 3 of those to be, or 2 of those at least to be in sort of contention with the points that Geese Can Fly has. So yeah, but it's looking like Babs clipped again, so 1.2 seconds back. Not really a factor in this round. It's all down to Yossi to try.
Clip from Bosfo.
Ooh. Get the draw, which might now be possible because of Boz's clip. So
how far back is Boz? Not enough to be reeled in by Babs, but Yossi able to keep this match alive by the absolute
Skin of its
minimum.
teeth.
Yeah, if he can hold on, doesn't jump too far right this time, picks up a draw.
Forces
Good
one
focus.
more round.
Yeah, very much down, but not quite out.
Yeah, not out of
They
this
would now
match.
need 2 aces in a row to even tie up the scoreline. It would be a mammoth task to ask from them.
Yeah. Well, they
But
need 3
that
in
is
a
the
row to
best
win.
it could have started.
That is the best it could have started. And Boz now completely out of this. And Babs on pace with Jadon almost. So entirely possible to overtake and get an ace out of it. Maybe the comeback dream is real, but as I say that, Babs slightly
Does
clips. Oh, but Boz is DNF'd, so there's no chance of getting overtaken. It's
Not that it matters. All Jadon
yeah.
needs is second. It can be a victory for good focus. And
It
they
could
might win
be.
that round, but they will lose the match. It's all on Jadon here. Just keep things clean. Keep things nice and tidy. You don't need to push. You've got a half-second margin behind. One more jump as Jadon will book Geese Can Fly a ticket into the upper bracket. And that is the first of our matches. Complete that I am aware of. There may be other results that have come in. I shall be checking with production.
Yeah, we'll have a look see. But that was a speedy match. I think that'll be one of the first ones that has finished. Unless perhaps there's a more an even faster one somewhere else. But
I honestly think it could be possible that happens.
seems like there is only one match still ongoing. So
I suspect that'll be the retirement
That's-
home match.
match 1 actually.
It's match 1.
Yeah,
Did
match
they get
1,
started late?
which is Evo against Curry Knight. So
Truly a force to be reckoned with, Curry Knight.
yeah.
Curry Knight have a map win.
Wait, they have a map win?
They have a map win.
Were they sandbagging in rounds? Did they get the?
What has
they
happened
get the-
here?
I suppose what may have happened is they picked. I don't know what the second map was here. I will check it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that is unexpected, as we have hopped in to spectate Curry Knight, as they are tied up with Seed 1.
Yeah.
Seed 8 here, who barely scraped in to actually get to take part. And they are here.
Yeah.
They have come to fight. And I'm so curious what happened in this match.
Yeah, it looks
What
like
happened
we missed
to
out on
Josh
the best
and
one.
Key?
At least so far. And this is also first round on this third map as well, which is an ace for Evo. Josh and Key leading the way on a flower off the ground. Off the ground. I got it right. I got it wrong. Don't need to correct myself.
Small mistake from Kiva, gets offline, gives a chance for Snake and Darklight to get back in. Now, honestly, I might have a theory as to what happened here.
Yeah.
The UK ice scene isn't massive. There are a few good ice players, so there's Burnt Bagels, and then honestly after that, it's probably Darklight and Snake. You say as two of best following ice players. So perhaps the second map might have been, Peak with its ice slide. Even then, I'm pretty shocked that they would have managed to pick up a win on that.
Yeah. That would
Given the
have
fact that even in seeding, they were, 3 positions behind Evo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's. I mean, in seeding, they were all the way down at the bottom, right at the end. So, as well. So even, I don't know. That's a crazy upset to have taken a map. But it looks like so far on this map, although Josh has now made a mistake on this round, Evo have complete control again. 5-1 the scoreline at the moment.
Yeah, although Darklight with, some scruffiness, does drop down to 4th. Still was sitting with Josh for a bit. They are going to limit the damage to a draw here. Make sure they pick up a point.
That's if they don't clip on this grass part, which is very, very difficult not to do. Made it through okay by the looks. One more turn, and Key is pushing, but not quite able to catch Snake, so a draw. And 6-2 the scoreline, so Evo still just out of range of being able to take the match with an ace.
Yep. Still, a chance here for Curry Knight to go and build possibly the biggest upset of any BITM competition ever.
Yeah.
Probably beating out.
Seeding.
Yeah. This is meant to be the absolute procession match, and it's ended up the closest of the lot.
Yeah, none of the other matches made it to map 3 so far as I can tell, so...
I don't believe so. Hopefully we will be getting some results posted shortly.
We'll see how it comes down. Yeah, this final...
Give me another ace here.
This looks like another ace, yeah. Not quite the final round, but... Oof.
I think yesterday's Curry might have caught up with Snake and Darklight. The consequence of Curry Knight have hit them, as they are going to need nothing but aces here if they want to keep a chance. Honestly, massive respect to them for managing, not going down Battle Fight, managing to take a map off Key and Josh. Certainly makes Key and Josh look human, which they didn't really look in the very strong quality performance. So.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Oh, well, Josh has clipped there, so maybe still vulnerable. Although Darklight is Snake is back here with the pair of Evo players, so they need an ace to stay alive. Curry Knight, and it looks like that's not happening at the moment. But as I say that, Josh clips again. And now it is a 1-2 for Curry Knight, so maybe the run is still alive.
Perhaps they are in ace. Not anymore. Snake just drops behind Key, and Darklight misses the finish.
Darklight misses the finish and DNFs. Oh,
it doesn't matter. With Key in second, it was a done deal anyhow.
Yeah.
I think Curry Knight can walk away with a head held high there, taking a map off of Evo.
Victory.
Yeah.
But that
Definitely.
will be all she wrote for Curry Knight. As we have our first bit of a bracket finally getting filled in, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I think so far as I'm aware, all of the favorites made it through.
I am unaware of any shocks.
So Evo Esports wins match 1 that we just saw. Moonveil, unsurprisingly, wins their match against Box R Us. Walls wins their match against Retirement Home, which I think was that a
Of Idol and Louis.
yes, no, that was a consistent one. And yeah, and then last but not least, the first match that we were watching, Good Focus taking out
Good Focus getting taken out by
Good Focus
Geese
getting
Can Fly.
taken out by Geese Can Fly. So
With groundbreaking information rocking the Trackmania scene. Like Geese can in fact fly. But we are
marked wrong on the thing. Sorry, I'm checking the tournament tool in the background to look at the results.
Yep. With those results in, I think we might do a quick break while we deal with all the server stuff on our side, and then we will be back very shortly with, I imagine we'll be taking up a bracket match.
Yeah.
We will see you in a minute.
She took me all the way to Babylon. There ain't no way I can let go. It's like she's holding me to ransom, and all the money in the world won't do it, no. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. Oh my God, you miss your body. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. I'm still here if you need somebody. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. I'm still here if you need somebody. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. Oh my God, you miss your body. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. I'm still here if you need somebody. She took me all the way to Babylon. There ain't no way I can let go. It's like she's holding me to ransom, and all the money in the world won't do it, no. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. Oh my God, you miss your body. I'm going out of my head, going out of my mind. I'm still here if you need somebody. I'm still here if you need somebody.
I know I shouldn't look twice, but you're staring at me with your bedroom eyes. And I should have learned by now, it's only gonna end in a broken night. But there's something about the way you hold yourself. You're looking at me the same as if you've loved no one else. I wish that I had the strength, control myself. But when it comes to you, I don't know how to say, I don't know how to say no.
should have learned by now that you only show up in the dead of night. But there's something about the way you hold yourself. You're looking at me the same as if you've loved no one else. I wish that I had the strength, control myself. But when it comes to you, but I don't know how to say, I don't know how to say no to you, to you. You know that I want to stay, know that I want to stay, know that I do, that I do. But you push me away. Still I come back and you do it again. I don't know how to say, I don't know how to say. But you push me away. Still I come back and you do it again. I don't know how to say no to you.
Feeling like a freight train running. I'm that hurricane turning. Feeling like a polar bear burning. What are we gonna do? I'm that fake smile gleaming. Yeah, I'm the lie that you choose to believe in. Guess the truth kinda lost all meaning, and I'm enjoying the view. Well, I've been a loving lover, I've been a trusting brother. I'm taking my time to recover and picking it up when I'm better. Oh, there's so much to see in a lifetime. So why does it feel like it flies by? She's staring me down with the bright eyes. Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Hello and welcome back to the qualifiers for Trent on Track. This is the first shot for teams to get in, and this round is where we will find out our first two teams to be guaranteed a spot in the LAN. Going on at the moment, we will have the two upper bracket matches. We'll have two upper bracket matches and two lower bracket matches. The winner of the two upper bracket matches will have their place guaranteed.
Yeah. As these upper bracket rounds, this is your chance to make sure that you can qualify. You have a chance to win the £600 prize pool on the day, and also 2 routing keyboards, one for each player on the team. So very important match for everyone here, and
yeah, stop to take the long way round at all.
yeah.
I don't expect any of the current top 4 teams to have an issue qualifying, whether that be out of today or possibly, out of the next qualifier, should something go wrong today.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're just waiting on the players joining, and then we'll get underway with round number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we certainly had a clear top 4 teams in the sort of seeding segment of the qualifying. So it would not surprise me if those top 4 teams are the ones that go on to qualify in the bracket. But we'll find out, obviously, which which of the first two of those teams potentially comes through and is able to put themselves apart. There will be one more round for the teams that qualify today, or in this round. They will be playing each other for seeding to take first seed or second seed out of week 1. And you do want to take first seeds because it means you will be playing against seed 8 from week 2. So yeah, you've gotta make sure that you are at the top of the table to give yourself the easiest time going into the double elimination at the LAN.
It's also a massive confidence boost. I mean, any opportunity you get to play against the other top teams and come out on top, you know, it just gives you that little bit of confidence going forwards. Of course, the actual LAN is still, you know, over a month away. So I have to check the date then.
19th
so players will have
April.
plenty of time to prepare, but yeah, you kind of find out your strengths and your weaknesses properly when you play against the top players, and for momentum, it's useful as well. We have all the players into the match now, so I think
and we are...
if we can hit the start button, we will be good to get into it. If we just have a quick look at the bracket, we can see the other matches that are going on at the moment.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, we are going to be watching Epos Divino versus Withy and Acros. This is Team Moonvale versus Team Walls. The winner of this will go straight through to the upper bracket final, which, much as it is the upper bracket final, far less is on the line, as you are already qualified to the LAN by getting there. The other two teams with this shot are going to be Key and Josh versus Boz and Jadon. In the lower bracket, the teams fighting for their tournament survival, their chance to qualify from this week, we have Snake and Darklight, who pulled a bit of a surprise taking a map off of Evo, up against Yassi and Babs, who looked like possibly the strongest of the teams outside the top 4.
Yeah.
Then we have Nyaruko and Rebel versus Idol and Louis. Two very crashy players are, you know, against two very consistent players. I think that would be quite a fun watch, but we can't watch them all, sadly.
No, I don't have, 16 eyes to be able to watch every single player.
It would be really useful if I did, but sadly not. So I think we are about ready to get started.
I think.
Of course, the comp tool has slightly misbehaved itself, so it isn't starting automatically.
I want to see.
No comp tool, but
did yes. Okay, so I will use a little console command here, if I can tab into the game.
It's a fun technical side you don't usually see, but it's
yeah.
in it this time.
There we go. Pick ban is on.
Yay, we have pick ban, and we'll be able to look over this. As they happen. Strange with string picks first. I thought it'd be bans first.
No, it's picks first.
Oh, is it? Okay,
It's
my bad.
Yeah. It's in the rule. It's in the rule book.
It's in the document I wrote.
Yeah, it's in the document you wrote.
Blame Beacon. Blaming Beacon. I'm too tired from Beacon yesterday. I'm going to blame Beacon, and I'm going to blame the F1 for being on at 4 in the morning and my silly decision to get up and watch that. So, I'm functioning what I've got left after that.
Maybe a bad choice, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps not my finest moment, but yep, we see the tracks being picked and being banned. So, blue team, which is Epos and Divino, picked Soccer Not Football, followed by a red team pick on, I believe that was Flower of Ground. Then bans on Wildfire and Perfect Blue. I don't think we've seen Perfect Blue at all in match yet, I'll be honest.
I don't think so, no.
Going to be a reasonably common ban during this first phase. Once we get to the LAN, no bans. All teams have to play all all maps, every match. So no getting away with it there. But for now, Perfect Blue looking not to be picked by anyone here. We're just in warm-up, just waiting for things to get started. Should not be too long at all now.
Yeah. Oh.
Tell you what, people in chat, what
There we
are
go.
your predictions for this match?
I found the right command to force start the match.
Yay! Professional here, professional.
Yeah. Very, very professional,
There you
yeah.
I've asked questions to spectators. I'll ask a question to you. Who do you think comes out on top in this match?
Ooh, that's a tough choice. I mean, okay. The safe money is on Epos, obviously. Epos and Divino. They both were... Well, they were top 2 in the seeding rounds, and honestly, Epos looked untouchable on a lot of the maps, so we'll see if they can keep up that consistency. But that's the definitely my safe choice for it. But having said that, we did also see several rounds where both Epos and Divino struggled and clipped a lot, and maybe Wizzy can take advantage, maybe Akros can take advantage. You know, it's not completely out of the ballpark for these players, so I'm interested to see how everything shakes out in terms of the difference of pace, the difference of consistency from the qualifier, or from the seeding rounds going forward.
Yeah, I'll be very intrigued to see how it goes.
Yeah, and we are in the warm-up now for It's Soccer Not Football, which I have to say, it's probably one of the funniest map names that I've seen for a comp map. So, big fan. And we are into our first round between Moonvale and Walls.
Yeah, we are underway. And for now, very little to separate the 4 players. Akros at the back, but by such a small margin, it barely even matters. No mistakes coming out here at all.
Yeah, but losing a bit of time through that reactor bug slide there. So, we'll see if they can claw it back. But Wizzy out in front means that it could be a draw, provided nothing changes. But Epos now taking the lead. They're all neck and neck here. It's all going to be decided basically on this no grip 360. As in we go. Wizzy gets it well, so does Divino.
Divino gets it well.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Wizzy
gonna
missed
be...
a fin!
Oh no, Wizzy!
That
I
is
was about
so
to say it looks
costly.
like it's going to be a victory for Moonvale, but it turns out to be an ace because of that clip on the finish. And that's very unfortunate for Walls starting out this match dropping around like that when they were so close.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. I don't think it's all representative of how well they played, but, you know, we've seen people caught out by their finish before. We saw it happen to, I believe it was Key in seeding. First mistake coming out this round from Divino, and that's going to be quite a costly one. Drops him by half a second behind, so Akros in third, Divino fourth, and then Wizzy and Epos scrapping for that first place. It's going to be incredibly tight until Wizzy clips, taps a wheel on the outside of the dirt. So still got a margin over Divino, but going to need a bit of a miracle here to try and catch up Epos. And that miracle has come. Brilliant 360. It's going to be down to the wire. And although Wizzy has more speed and you could almost say should have won, Epos goes for a far right entry.
Yeah, I think
Gets the nose across the line first by such a tiny margin.
Yeah, I think Wizzy was bearing in mind the previous round finish there, taking it a bit safe, jumping down. Did luckily, finish pretty much on the time that they wanted, but unfortunately that meant they were half a tenth behind Epos, forcing only a draw. But similar situation evolving in this round as well. Divino a little bit behind, Epos a little bit in front, and the two Walls players just stuck in a Moonveil sandwich and trying to catch up to Epos, maybe force a victory, maybe force an ace if they can both get past him in this no grip 360.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a good
they are
line for
both
of
going to
them,
get
and
past
Epos
him.
slows down.
Epos.
Oh no!
Akros does it again!
No! Oh, it was Wizzy the first time, it was Akros this time.
We're in a ridiculous situation where I believe Wolves should be winning this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's two victories now that they've lost. Well, one was a victory and one was an ace, and that is very,
costly.
very unfortunate.
Yeah,
But at
Wizzy
least it was
clips
a draw.
this round, and Moonveil have honestly been gifted this
Oh no!
this
Divino
map
as well.
on a platter.
Akros as well.
Yeah, Crows goes again. He is going to be well and truly out of it. It is on Wizzy to try and rescue anything from this round. We've seen how much better his 360 is than Epos's. So
Yeah, Epos has struggled with the 360. It might.
oh, Epos clips.
Yes.
That brings Wizzy right into it. Such a small gap here. How are the 360s looking?
Oh, that's
Wizzy goes
close.
so inside. How does he not clip that with his nose? Can he jump
That's
into
the
the finish?
finish.
He can this time.
Yes.
And although it's only a draw, that could have gone far, far worse.
That could have gone infinitely worse. That was an excellent recovery there by Wizzy to catch all the way up, and that 360 was so close to hitting the wall. Just a touch wrong there, and it all of a sudden flips around to become another ace for Moonveil. So well played to
Wizzy clip.
keep it, but
Oh,
Wizzy
but
has clipped again. But so has
Keeps it
Divino.
together. Yeah. Recovers that relatively well. Keeps himself, well, definitely in contention, considering how decisive his final spin is, that he seems to have better than Epos. He could still honestly win this round, and
Oh,
one
no.
player he does not need to get past is his own teammate. Akros
Akros
flying
going
off
wide.
to the side again, throwing away yet another opportunity for Wolves here. Wizzy has had to try and perform some miracles going into this final section against Epos before. Is 4 attempts just a little bit too much? I think it is this time. Wizzy goes 2 inside, I think clips his nose.
Yeah, he did.
Will make it cross the line, but isn't able to stop a Moonveil victory.
And
Whatever-
danger zone. Danger
Yep.
zone for Moonveil, so or for Walls. Moonveil are
Yeah.
just 2 away.
Yeah, whatever Akros and Wizzy have, they need it now. They need to keep it clean and they need to keep it fast. They have the pace to pick up aces on this track. We've seen that before. Victories at the very worst. But frankly, they need aces now. They need 2 in a row to be able to tidy this up.
Yeah, they really do. And Divino clips. So
Yeah.
that's good news. Epos
That-
still in the lead, but again, the 360 is coming up and he struggles through it. He's not as fast as Wizzy on most of the rounds. Wizzy clipped last round and was still pretty much equal on time throughout this last
With the
turn, and yep, there it is
nicely
again.
done there from the wheel player. And
Absolutely.
he gets it in the finish this time. I said they needed an ace. Victory is the next best thing, but they're still gonna need to pick up an ace this round. It is
Yeah,
ace or
no.
bust here for Akros and Wizzy.
This could go towards a draw if they do get that ace, because we've seen a few draws happen this match already. It could go towards overtime if they get this ace, but
Sure.
they still have to play out the round.
Yep, and they can't afford any mistakes.
And it looks
Wizzy
like
a tiny bit behind, but not enough to matter. One of Moonveil full. That
It's
is
Divino.
Divino out of it. So it is going to be Epos and Akros and Wizzy scrapping it out for the win. Wizzy has closed the gap, only 2 tenths of a second as we head towards the second where we know he often gains time, but is Akros there? I'm not sure. All Epos needs to do here is pick up a second place, try and survive his 360. He loses a lot of speed But Akros has been forced to respawn, and Wizzy's efforts come to naught as Moonvale will win this track 10-7, and Wolves have to wonder what they let happen there. That should have been their map.
They will be ruining that map. That should have been theirs. They were faster the whole time through that 360 at the end. The number of times Wizzy overtook Epos in that final turn only to clip on the finish, and the same for Akros too. So they'll be kicking themselves over that, but no time really, less than a minute to try and reset your mental and bring it all together for a Flower of the Ground, which is our second map. And this one was very much more the Epos hunting grounds in the seeding rounds. I think finished 3 of the rounds here in first on this one, or was that
rings a bell?
That might have been Wildfire.
Yeah, this wasn't Moonvale's best track, but it was Wolves' worst.
Right.
So we're gonna see. Of course, just because you perform bad in seeding doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at the track. You could have just had some inconsistencies. Could have just not felt it during those, very short 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But
I want to point out that Epos was first on every single map overall as an individual player.
Yeah, that sounds like Epos.
I guess it probably doesn't matter which map that we're on. It's always an Epos stomping ground. But we'll see how the match goes as we get into it.
He wasn't first on one map. On the last map, Wizzy took that by a very tiny margin from a quick look through.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But yeah, the point still stands that
It's
pretty
incredibly
impressive.
fast.
Yeah. That said, this map,
yeah.
which might on paper look better for Moonvale, not looking good at all currently. Epos, a couple attempts down on where he'd like to be. He clips, he's out of this round. It's all on Divino to try and block the ace. Gets a horrible exit from grass, it has to be said. Clips again for good measure, gifts it on a platter. Wolves might have thrown a map where they had a decent chance, but they've come onto this one fighting, picking up their first ace of the match.
Yeah, an important ace, I think, as well, because that's off the back of what must have been a frustrating first map, so seems like they're in a good mindset. Perhaps Epos and Divino not altogether focusing on this round, but we'll see if they can pick back up the pace. Epos makes another mistake at the beginning of this round, so it's Divino only up at the front with Wizzy and Akros, and we'll see what happens as we come into this gravel section here. Very dangerous clipping possibility on the left hand side here as you turn up the hill. See if everyone makes it through. They just about have, so very, very even between everyone. Divino losing a little bit of speed there on the reactor penalty grass. But this is the really, really tough part. This grass left-hander trying to get a good exit out of here, and Divino just doesn't get it. So it's Wolves again, 1-2, heading into these final 2 corners, and there it is.
Yep.
A second ace.
Yeah, they are looking super strong here. This is a bit unexpected. At least to me, I would have bet on Moonvale winning this matchup. And although they got the first track, the second track looking like... It's one of the things, when you're 6-0 up, you just need to hold it together. You just need to not let them ace, and you're probably going to win the round. I mean, 4 victories here for, Moonvale, and Wolves will still win the match.
Exactly.
They just need to avoid getting ace. Now, admittedly, Akros not really doing his part in letting that happen. He falls about a second down as Wizzy clips as well, and suddenly the ace looks possible. That's it. Can Epos close the gap? Yeah, Wizzy holding it together. Divino, Wizzy, and Epos separated by such tiny margins as we head into the final section of this track. It is critically
all equal
important
on
that Wizzy
speed.
does not come third. Any other position will do. Gets a rough exit though, and Epos and Divinio return the favour of the ace. 3 rounds in, 3 aces, not all by one team.
I was gonna call out that maybe you were about to caster curse them, as you mentioned that all they had to do was not get aced. But well, I didn't have to call you out.
They just went and did it
for me. They just went and did it.
This round should be
round-
quite easy for them not to get aced.
Well,
Divinio had to full respawn. He's 2.5 seconds down.
had to full respawn. Wizzy also has clipped though, so it's all
Yeah,
about
Epos
whether
acros.
Epos can secure a draw.
I get the
really,
feeling
and
that'll be
looks
the way
like-
this round goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Epos. Bit of a lead over Acros here. I'd be surprised if the Acros try and tidy that up, especially with a clip there. This'll be a fairly
Oh, but Epos
dull rush. As
Never
does
mind,
Acros.
Acros clips.
They do the exact
It's
same
now
thing, and
Wizzy.
Wizzy, from nowhere, coming back into contention. This has been a very scruffy round from all involved. I think Epos will be able to hold on to first, barring any
Yeah.
major incidents. Not the finest first place he's ever driven, but it did the job. As
yeah,
teammate
absolutely.
isn't there that time. 4-7. 2 walls this time, and Ace would tidy it up nice and fast for them.
Yeah, they've got the possibility to bring it to that third map, and fingers crossed they can do it, honestly. I want to see the third maps coming out on all of our matches. I think we've got a really nice crop of players, so it's great when they all get to show their skill. And this round, much more even than the last few. No major clips early, but Divinio and
favorite move
Epos taking the lead by about a good half second, actually, heading into this first sort of danger zone, and they all live through that first dirt turn and through the reactor as well. So now it comes down to the grass. Can you get a good exit? Will you have enough speed? Oh, it looks like
pouring from
Wizzy
Wizzy.
just overturns.
Yeah, and that is a very, very important round there from Divinio and Epos.
Oh,
They get themselves back into this, going 2 aces down at the start. They've now recovered, picked up 2 aces of their own, with a draw in the middle, and we are at a 7-7 scoreline. It's almost sudden death.
yeah. That's
You get an ace, you win. And in the case of Moonveil, you get an ace, and you qualify for the LAN.
Yeah,
This is-
exactly. This is the important thing here. Is we're not just playing to go to the next round. This is playing to get to the offline event in April, and yeah, interesting to see that again. This round is quite even up front. Epos, Wizzy, and Divinio all within a tenth, and as I say that, Wizzy drops back by about 2. So looks like Moonvale have the
Divinio
advantage, but this great line from
falling back.
Macross.
Yeah, Divinio is falling back a bit. He has a scruffy line. It's gonna go into the formation for a draw. Can either of Walls try and hunt down Epos here? Pick up a
It's the
win.
grass turn again.
Yeah, it's going to be super close. Acros with perhaps a little more
So
speed. It's
close.
going to come down to this ending line. I think Epos has it.
Oh, it's-
Not
it's
as
so
well,
close.
actually. It's so close, and by 23 thousandths of a second, with 101, you know, 0.1 rounds. That was a very important round there for Walls.
That was extremely important for Wizzy to pick up, and yeah, they're gonna have to do it all again this round because you can't take the pressure off. But
well,
Divinio
they're at
has
least
clipped.
partially safe.
Oh
Yep.
dear, this could actually be the end for this map, because even with a draw, Walls will take the map here. They need to make sure that they don't clip themselves, they need to make sure that they don't crash, but they are a second clear of Divinio, so they can play it safe, they can take the draw, and it won't be the end of the world.
Yep, keep it tidy. Just don't drop 1 second behind, it should be okay. Now, telling Trackmania players to play safe often doesn't go too well. But it looks like
Yeah.
Acros is certainly taking it to heart. He's just chilling half a second behind the leaders. Doesn't really need to get involved, just needs to beat Divinio. Wizzy, on the other hand, wants to try and push for win. It's going to get close, but isn't going to get it. Does Akros cross line? Yes, he does. Wolves take us onto map 3.
Yeah. Wow, that was close. 1 point between
9
the
to
teams.
10.
It all came down to that snipe by Wizzy on that second last round. Incredible. Important to get it, and forces map 3, which is Peak, I believe. Yes.
Well, we do have an announcement. We have our first team confirmed going to the LAN.
Ooh,
the
who
other-
is it? Tell me.
It will be Geese. Geese can fly. That is Bozbez and Jadon have booked their way to the LAN,
Wow.
and they will go in as one of the top 4 seeds, facing off
Yeah.
against the winner of this match to get to fight for actually seed 1, because this is the first qualifier. Winner of this will get seed 1, so there will be a bit on the line for those two teams, but strong performance there. I can't see the exact scores because Bozbez has forgotten them, but yeah, beat out Evo 2-1. So despite such a strong showing in qualifiers, it hasn't really translated into rounds for Evo yet. They're gonna have to fight in the lower bracket to secure their place, as is one of these two teams.
Yeah.
Sadly, we also have our first team eliminated. Curry Knight might have sprung such an incredible surprise taking a map off Evo, but sadly, Curry Knight is no more.
Not Curry Knight. Oh,
No Curry Knight. They might have been my favorite team. I also sadly think one of them actually can't play next week, so that is the end of Curry Knight.
Oh no.
Which is absolutely gutting.
That is gutting.
But we should focus on the match at hand. Moonvale versus Wolves. Map 3 here. These two teams have had very, very little to separate them.
Yeah, and
All players doing well.
Them on that last map. So we'll see how this first round turns out. Wizzy in the lead by a couple temps, so should take it, although Ethos has a slightly faster line there. Yeah, not enough gap to get it. So a victory for Walls in this first round, taking the points lead and sort of the lead of the entire match for the first time would be. It's a good feeling, I think, between the two of them. They're playing really, really well right now. Divino did struggle a lot at the end of the last map, so I have to hope that they can pick up a bit more, or pick up some of their confidence back here, and perhaps contest. Although, as I say that
is not what they needed for their confidence, unfortunately. There,
slapping face first into a wall, and that is not the way to win a round of Trackmania. So yeah, it looks like
he must get to slide.
That was such a good 360, but not quite.
Yeah, dodgy end there is gonna cost him. Wizzy and Akros jump in for finish, separated by half attempt to clock in an ace. If I actually need to give a mention to one player, I feel like Akros has been playing very well.
Yeah.
Probably not as strong as Wizzy and Epos, but you don't fully expect him to be quite on their level.
Yeah,
but he's playing well. He's supporting Wizzy, and he's, it's very, thereabouts. Divino, on the other hand.
Yeah. This
bit
is
of a
what we were talking
momentum-based
about
player.
at the start of the day. This is what we were talking about, was it's duos. It doesn't matter if you're the best player on the track. If you don't have the teammate there to back you up, it's gonna cost you in the long run for these matches. And right now, Moonvale kind of paying the price for a little bit for Divino being inconsistent, but they will still have a second chance, even if they lose this match, because they could still qualify in the final lower bracket matches. But this particular round goes to a draw, forced by Epos with a very good line out of that last corner. So it's not over yet. We've seen Moonvale come back and get 2 aces when they've been down in a position like this. So,
it's not happening
see
this
if
time.
they can do it again. But...
Same no slide catching Divino out. It's really easy, I think, in Trackmania, where if you make a mistake on one particular part of a track,
yeah,
you just end up repeating that mistake. You get so in your own head of like, don't make that mistake, don't do it, and you'll just see the mistake getting repeated. And unfortunately, I believe that is what's happened to Divino. Yeah, it's always somewhere where you never usually have an issue.
And then
you'd almost expect it on like this i360 if someone were making mistakes. You could almost see that happening there.
Exactly,
but
yeah.
No, it's strange. It's the very first drift. He gets a no slide, and that is unfortunate. Epos limiting the damage as best as he can.
Yeah, another
but draws still feeding, into favour of Wolves, as they now have their chance to go and book themselves a ticket to Stoke-on-Trent. Don't laugh at it. We've got to try and make Stoke sound exciting.
I'd
listen to all the Milton Keynes slander during the virtual event. It's gonna.
We'll. What if we instead of saying a ticket to Stoke-on-Trent, we say a ticket to the Beacon Arena? Just
that sounds
more
cool.
Confusing.
Yeah. Which has no affiliation with the other Beacon.
Absolutely no
Divino
affiliation.
has another mistake come out. So Epos once again having to try and defend from an ace to stop Wolves getting this match wrapped up. Just trying to keep it alive.
Ooh.
He gets a decent exit. He will hold on.
Avoids the no slide, and it's just one drift left.
Yeah, he gets it better.
Yeah.
And he holds it together.
Less than 1/10 of a second away from losing the match, really. So, Divino. I think that's every round except the first one, right? Where they've quit.
Not looking comfy here at all.
So, not looking comfortable at all. And like we said, it's happened again.
Oh, it's happened again. Divino
happened again.
Defeated by this no slide.
Yeah.
And I think this might be all she wrote for Moonvale. Even if it's not this round, it almost certainly will be the next if Divino can't keep it clean. Epos giving everything he has to try and keep them alive, try and limit it to a draw. But the scoreline will just go 9-5, and 2 more draws and it's done. Wizzy unable to close the gap. Not able to wrap it up this round, but it's, it's do or die now for Moonvale, and particularly for Divino. He has to make it round this next corner next round. He has to make it past this no slide that's plagued him.
I keep thinking that Epos as well on that 360 is gonna get that slide out.
Yeah.
Heading onto the sort of the final stretch, and that could also be the end for them. But no slide.
Divino has made it, and he drives into the next. Oh no! But he hasn't dropped too far behind. He's not out of contention. He's not out of contention. He's about 2 attempts down. But equally, they have to have an ace here, and I don't think that's going to happen from where he is. I think this is almost certainly over for Moonvale. With Inacro, just need to hold him to a draw. And Epos goes flying, and that is one final nail in the coffin.
He'd been bulletproof the entire match, winning so many rounds in a row to force draws over and over again, but one mistake is all it takes, and Wolves will close it out with an ace. Pretty convincing victory on this map, to say the least. But yeah, they will be our second team to qualify and make it to the LAN events. So congratulations to Wolves. Hard fought and solid victory.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. That was so many opportunities missed by both teams to go and wrap that up a lot earlier. The first map felt like it was thrown entirely by Wolves. Second map had a golden opportunity for, Moonvale to wrap it up in 2. But neither of those things happened. We went on to map 3, and at that point, consistency won out, and Wolves got their way in.
Yeah.
We can
I
now
mean,
have a look to
that-
see what other results have come.
Yeah.
Uh,
In that first map
See.
could have gone any possible way as well, with the way that Wolves were doing so well on the no grip 360 there. So maybe that's their strong point. The pair of them, you know, they were very consistent across those spins across multiple maps, and yeah, we'll see if they can keep that up going into the LAN event in a month's time. Now, there are some matches still going on. I think there is Retirement Home versus Bonks R Us is currently at 8-8 on the final map. Both teams on match point there. And we'll see if one of those two can pull it off.
Yeah,
I
I'm
believe
not going to
this
join this,
is-
not risk breaking anything, but you can see live what's going on. And this is for survival in the bracket. Whichever team loses this will be out of this attempt to qualify. They'll have next week, assuming they can play,
Yeah.
but it is looking like it's going to go in the favour of the Retirement Home.
Yeah, at the moment, 1 second the gap back to Zoo Rebel, so
Yeah, I think
it looks pretty clean.
that will be done. Of course, there is still the 360 to go.
Oh, Comrade Lewis almost completely crashing the inside of it, but okay, clips the finish, but it's not enough. Still an ace,
Nope.
still a win.
Yep, there we go. That is victory for the Retirement Home, and that brings to an end the first set of matches. We have our first two casualties, Bonksarasa and Curry Knight. The two best names, sadly, end up as the two bottom teams.
Yeah. Oh, why are we losing all the good names, man?
It's
What
so
have we
sad.
done?
They better come back next week.
Did
I
we
won't- I
cast
won't-
curse them just by enjoying the names? Is that...
It's
that
too
work?
easy. It's too easy.
It's
But-
too easy.
Yep.
And yeah, that should be every single round completed, so...
Yep. I think with that done, we have our first two confirmed to qualify, which will be Wolves, the lineup of Within Acros, as well as Bosbez and Jadon, under the name Geese Can Fly. Those two will play each other for top seed, but we will be focusing on one of the lower bracket matches to see who makes it to the final. There are 4 teams battling out for 2 spots. We're going to have good focus, and the Retirement Home coming from the lower bracket, and then from the upper bracket we're going to have Evo and Moonveil. We're going to throw to a quick break now, so that we can get the admin stuff on our side all sorted out, and then we will be back with the final matches of the day. Don't go anywhere.
Give me your devotion. All of your devotion. Give
lose yourself on a night out. Right now.
Will you take a piece of my heart? Tell me, what do I have to do? Why you gotta make it so hard? You made it this far. Now we got nothing left to lose.
Hello and welcome to the final match of the day. We've seen some great ones so far, but this is it. We have our first two teams through, and we're gonna guarantee the next two now.
Yeah.
We are kicking off with two teams who we've seen already. Both of them we've only watched from when they've lost, so that streak needs to end for one of them. We have Moonvale up against Good Focus.
Yeah, and this is, I think, a match that we didn't expect to happen at the beginning of the day. We're very much expecting Epos and Divino to sort of crush their way through the bracket a bit more, but the fact that they lost the game and Good Focus managed to just stay in their second match means that, yeah, we're going getting the dream matchup of watching poor Babs play against Epos and Divino. So yeah, I'm really hyped to see how this match goes. Pick and ban has already happened, and we are getting towards the first map now, just loading in. And yeah, first map is is soccer, not football. And it looks like some of the players have maybe not loaded in, or it appears there may have been a bug on the server, so one of the teams might have to leave and rejoin.
Yeah, Comptool being as reliable as always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a big.
Hopefully that doesn't take too long to fix.
Big plus. But
yeah,
they'll be back in time.
Yeah, I shouldn't really miss out on
out.
anything. Yeah, one back in, Babs back in, and yep, all looks sorted.
Yeah.
So, yep, Comptool not absolutely ruining our lives, just making it a little more complicated than it would have been ideally.
I really like the Comptool. I think it's one of the I don't think there are many publishers out there that give that many resources out to players. The trouble is
that is true.
The trouble is that despite all of the resources that Comptool has, you do have to manually input everything, and there is just kind of the off chance that it goes wrong and decides one team is actually the other team, and switches around the points on the scoreboard. But pluses and minuses to having some open tournament resources. So, but we are getting into the match now. Yes. Epos leading the way, unsurprisingly, here on It's Soccer Not Football. But it's not that...
first mistake from Yossi.
Yossi making the mistake, yeah. It's different to when we last saw Good Focus. It was usually the other way around. Sorry to say, Babs. But they're still in contention here. Babs could...
Babs. Small clip. Divino goes over the hump, though. Loses a boatload of time, almost back into the clutches of Yossi now. Never mind, Yossi goes into a pillar at full speed. That isn't ideal. So it is going to be a bit of a procession here, I imagine. Epos leading Babs, leading Divino, unless there are any shenanigans at the 360, and will kick off with a victory for Moonvale.
Yeah, and not too much of a surprise, but Divino... clipping once again. Perhaps when we said we were looking for consistency the last time we saw him, maybe the clips wasn't the consistent we were looking for, but hopefully stamps out the habits in these next few rounds, and Jussi needs to do the same. They need to keep up here, and they are doing so far. No clips so far going into this reactor bug slide, and it's barely 3/10 the difference across all the players.
Yossi clips.
And then Yossi clips, and
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Divino and Epos 3/10 ahead of Babs as well. He's gonna have to push like mad if he wants to get anything other than an ace for the opposing team. Coming into the no grip 360, it looks like got a good line, but will it be enough? No, not quite. And Moonvale take the first ace of the match.
Yeah, I think from what we've seen of both teams, I'm expecting this to be a massive uphill battle for Good Focus, and they really need to be playing at their best. Babs clips the very first corner, had the new mistake discovery, unfortunately.
It's that classic. Every round you go into, there's just that, there's one in 5 or 1 in 10 or 1 in 100 chance that you pick up a mistake DLC. As you see Divino clipping there as well, actually. I think that was oh no, it wasn't quite as hard a hit as Babs had at the start of the map, so not quite at the point where it's forcing a draw instead of a victory. And Epos looking faultless up front at the moment.
Yossi though.
And Epos even clips as well.
Oh, but it's not gonna matter if you can make the safe in time. He does.
Yeah.
That's the kind of round where Good Focus, if they want to qualify, had to be getting a victory.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, at least a victory, if not an ace. Every single player in that match clipped or crashed at some point, and really should have got more points out of it than 0, but that's just the way things go sometimes. And Epos with a small clip against the wall there,
still
keeping up. Yeah, barely lost any time at all.
Yeah, not too big of an issue there, to be honest. But it does promote Yossi into first place. Yossi, who I think by far looked like the stronger player for Good Focus in the first match we watched. Not been able to perform as well so far on this map, but is trying this time. All four players going fairly neck and neck. To the 360, and out of it come two Good Focus players in the lead.
Wow.
And they get an all-important ace. They had to get that to get any hope in this match. It's still going to be a massive uphill battle. But they keep themselves alive. And keep themselves in it.
Pushing so hard on that 360, it just clips the inside. And that's the second round in a row that he's done that. And Divino is now clipped as well at the beginning. That's quite a big time loss. Half a second on the time screen on the left there. So is it enough to let Good Focus just push that little bit harder, have that little bit more confidence that they can make, you know, one tiny mistake and it's okay? Because they have to push, they have to catch Epos. They need at least a victory out of this, you feel, to make it worth it. And Epos looking pretty steady into this 360 once again. We'll see if they go too far on the inside. Not this time. Babs makes a mistake, and it looks like what should have been at minimum a draw is going to turn into a victory for Moonvale. And the first map.
Yeah, that is map 1 done in fairly dominant focus, well, fairly dominant ways for Moonvale. You can tell I've been casting a little too long as well here. Various words are just, you know, merging into one.
You can call it dominant focus. I mean, they're dominating Good Focus, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So far. So load on to our second map here, Peak. I think it's proven to be the toughest map on the pool for Divino so far.
Yeah,
remember
I'm
last
just
time we
watching
saw
him warm up. All he's doing is just trying to get past that first slide. He does that time.
I think it was something like 5 no slides in a row the last time we saw him.
It was really hard to watch, and I do feel a bit sorry for him that we are back on here. You get the feeling that maybe Babs and Yossi tuned into the stream, saw what was happening to the video here, and went, right, this is our pick.
Might have had it on in the background, I certainly would pick it if I had seen that match, because I mean we talked about it at the time, right? It's such a like psychological effect that you have when you start making a mistake over and over again that you really shouldn't. You really get into your own head and find yourself making more mistakes than you perhaps should. So we'll see if Divino can handle the pressure going into the first round on Peak. And here it comes. Manages to get through without crashing. So
in fact, has arguably the best start of everyone there.
Yeah,
goes
actually,
through first
leading.
CP first. So perhaps whatever gremlins were plaguing him last time, he might have got out of his system, as Divino and Epos flying first and second. Babs, that line was never going to work. That was way too much speed for that corner.
Ambitious.
Unfortunate for the Irishman there.
But it's not the end of the world. Jesse's still well within range to force a draw here, which I think realistically is the best case scenario. And I was going to say gets a good 360, but I think slid out slightly there and lost a bunch of speed.
It's going to get past Divino. So they're not going to get aced, but that is the most they can get out of this round, and they need to be fighting tooth and nail here.
Yeah, salvages the sort of defeat instead of the ace. So not that 360 was so close. I feel like if Shussi was slightly more to the left, they would have had the speed to contend with Epos for those last couple of corners. And it looks like somebody else had a mistake.
That
and Divino's
was Babs
as well.
and Divino. So 3 players out before we've even gone through first checkpoint. That was Yossi going absolutely flying. Epos all alone here.
Yeah,
he doesn't realise he's playing 2v2. He thinks he's just in time attack. Nothing going on around him, but of the absolute mess that has occurred behind, it is actually his own teammate that has come out in first. And
Which
Divino
is crazy.
can keep this tidy, that will be an ace for Moonveil.
Yeah, it looks
And-
like it playing it safe. Oh no!
Davino, what was
As
that?
As I say it, Davino face plants.
Dear.
And it's another one of those mistakes that you really shouldn't make because it now forces a draw on what absolutely should have been an ace. He had a 1 second advantage to Babs behind, and that is absolutely not the way that you want to drop points on a round. Could have been a 3-point lead, it's still only, or could have been a 4-point lead even, and now it is only 1. So
Yeah. Tell you what, good
Yeah.
focus. Gotta be feeling like they really got away with that round.
that was
By
very.
the time
very
they get
lucky for
15
them.
seconds to track one of their players, clip the other's flown out the map.
Exactly.
But they still get a draw out of it because Davino makes one of... I always
mean,
feel bad calling it silly, but
It
just-
was one of the classic mistakes. It's one of the ones we've been talking about, where it's just like, I don't think we've seen anybody crash there,
No.
fully face planting it. So, oh, and Epos has made a
Epos-
mistake on the 360.
yeah, that was pretty poor. I don't think it's going to be enough to fall into the clutches of Babs though, so good focus, keeping them honest here, keeping the scoreline, reachable, but
Yeah.
not able to actually pick up a lead.
Well, here's the thing as well. I mean, Babs obviously clipped fairly early in that round, but if they can keep it consistent, Moonveil have been making mistakes so far in this
Oh,
map. And
Babs.
as I say that, Babs does exactly what Davino was
This
doing
is
the last
a
time
bit
we
of a hard watch.
were watching this map, and no slides, straight into the wall on the first turn. So now it is all down to Jussie to try and get a draw again to extend the match even further. But facing up against Evos and Davino right now is, well, it's a tough challenge, even without your teammate clipping. And oh, that was slightly slow on the 360, but Epos clips post the turn, so Jussie looks like they will actually be able to force that draw 4/10 ahead of Epos and Davino, the two of them just losing out on those final couple of drifts. And
Yossi really keeping us
somehow-
alive.
somehow it's still 1 point difference between them, and I think
Oh, that was Yossi that time. I thought
that was
Babs
Yossi,
had got
but
into
Davino
the...
also clipped.
Yeah. Players
Oh,
are really
no.
not enjoying the start of this track. So it is Epos versus Babs.
Yeah,
Two
for
people
the
who
win.
were hosting a tournament together yesterday, now competing against each other in another.
Yeah, you have to. Well, this is going to be a close one, I think, between them. But Epos
Yeah,
has been
Davino
fairly
versus-
consistent here. Ooh,
Yeah, we've got almost these two 1v1s happening. Epos versus Babs, which I think Epos is going to win.
yeah.
But Davino versus Yossi, which I think Yossi is going to win. And this time it is a draw, but
It's
in the opposite
another
configuration
draw.
to usual. We have
Yeah.
had 4 draws in a row.
4 draws in a row. Yeah, this started as what, 2-1,
Yeah.
3-1.
It was initially a victory to Moonveil, and since that it has been
only
exclusively
been
draws.
draws, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. We're seeing, even with all these clips as well, Babs
Oh,
again
Babs.
gets the no slide into that first turn, and it's gonna be again Jussie trying to fight for a draw, and Davino has a couple bad lines there, falls a little bit out of contention for taking the ace away from Jussie without any major mistakes. So again, it's all on Epos, it's all on Jussie. Which one is going to blink first as we go into this 360? And it looks like
That's a
Epos
lot better for
has
Yossi.
clipped, and Yossi is through. And again, it looks like a draw, and it looks like we're going to be 7-6 on the map.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. 5
How
in a
have
row.
we had 5 in a row? Can we
Yeah.
go for 6? Do you think we're going to get 6?
I think it's very possible, to be honest. If Yossi keeps up their performances, then I mean, it's going to come down to Babs. Babs taking the widest line known to man, and honestly, I respect it. At that point, you just have to make it around the corner. Who cares if you're 2 temps down? It's better than 4
Exactly, right?
seconds.
Exactly. The number of times someone's been 2 seconds down and it just hasn't mattered and it's ended in a draw in the last 5 rounds. Just gotta keep within a second, really, and you're gonna be in contention.
Yeah, that said, it's been a pretty rough rest of the map. I think there were some unfortunate gears. I wasn't not quite sure. So he's down. He's gonna require a mistake from a Moonveil player going through 360 all over the place for Epos, but Epos does hold it together, and we are heading towards draw number 6, unless anything can happen here. It is going to happen. That is 6 draws in a row.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, can we draw all the way to 10? 6 draws in a row is quite a lot.
To be fair, 2 more draws, and Moonveil will be going to Trent on track.
Exactly.
That is the point we are at. It will be the most anticlimactic way a team has ever reached an offline final, but
it's like
looking like a chance. Oh, but that said, Yossi is out. A victory is all that Moonveil need to go and guarantee themselves a spot in the Beacon Esports arena.
And that means that it's all on Babs as well. And Babs has not been the stronger player of the two so far throughout the tournament, I'm sorry to say. So it's all on whether he can get a clean 360 here. Looks like he does,
but so does Divino, and so does Epos. And I think
Epos clipped.
That is going to be
Epos clipped.
I'm not willing to say it. The speed difference, it's not enough, and that is Moonveil going forward. The draws finally end. It will be 8, it'll be 10 to 8 to Moonveil.
0.026 between this result and a 7th draw in a row, so
would have been absolute lunacy that. But there we have it. That is your 3rd team guaranteed through. Epos and Divino will be going to Trent on track.
Yeah, and you know what? Props to both teams on that. That match was very, very, very close. That could have gone either way, with just one less clip on the wall or one more clip on the wall, because we saw them get very, very close a lot of times. So yeah, well played to both teams there. Unfortunate for Babs and Jesse to not make it through, but
also finishing almost at the same time, we have another match result in, and that is Evo beating out the retirement home. It's been great to see, Louis and Idol try and make it this far in the absolutely brutal first qualifier.
Yeah.
But not to be. And there we have it. The 4 big teams coming into this all make it through unscathed. Couple of scares along the way, but not enough to knock them out.
Yeah.
So we have our first 4 teams.
Yeah. And there's still one match still ongoing, actually. It's Walls versus Geese Can Fly, playing for 1st and 2nd seeds at the event. And, 1st and 3rd seed at the event, actually, because 2nd place from week 1 will place below 1st place from week 2. And it looks actually like it's a draw, and they're going into overtime.
Yeah, this is
a Vols match point as well. So this is an interesting one.
Yeah, I think we might have caught the very, very end of a match potentially.
Yeah, we'll see if it's one more round or an entire extra map.
That is true. This might not be anywhere near the end of the match.
This could not be the end of the map.
This is we're either going to have 1 second of gameplay for you, or possibly a good another quarter of an hour. It's going to depend on this round. For now, it is Jadon and Bozfez who have the slight advantage, but all 4 players are there or thereabouts.
It's all down to the 360.
How does it go? Boz doesn't look to get it great.
Oh, but it has more speed.
But Wizzy gets it even worse. What's going to happen at this ending? It looks like it's favouring Jadon and Boz, and we are going to a map 3 on this one.
There is a map 3.
There you go. We thought the stream was over. I thought I was going to go to sleep, but no. We've got one more to cast for you.
You must
one more to go.
Look, for as many players as we have cursed on stream tonight, I think maybe the game itself is forcing us to talk for another another whole match.
Yeah, honestly, by the time this is done, I guess it's gonna be the croakiest creature.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mess. But yeah, this will decide first seed for the tournament.
Yeah.
Which
actually
will-
pretty nice match to have last.
Yeah, for sure. And there is a fair bit of weight going on it. You would much prefer to be, going up against whichever team will qualify last from, seeding 2, then whoever qualifies.
Well,
I'm trying to do maths in my head. I give up.
It'll be whoever
I can't remember the exact
qualifies
seeding.
third in week 2 if you lose this match. is
I
the person that
think
will
so,
lose.
yeah. So to be
Yeah.
fair, that's actually not going to be a major difference, but
It's not a
it's
huge
still playing
difference,
for
but
pride.
still there.
It's still playing for coming in at seed 1.
Exactly.
It'll catch up to you later in bracket as well, that advantage of seed 1.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
for now, we have Boz and Jadon up against Wizzy and Acros. 4 players who have been absolute forces in BITM competitions. 3 of them for a very long time. One of them a bit newer to the scene. But between them, they hold every BIPL. They hold victory in Encore. They hold victory in BIPC 3. They hold victory in Cup and Cymru. All the players here have won BITM events. In fact, the only players who have won BITM events and aren't in this match are Pac and Epos. So, that's a fair start here to show that this is one hell of a match.
Oh,
And this is just to This is... Hang on, it's not to
This
qualify.
is just for seeding.
This is just for seeding, but we get to enjoy it anyway.
We
We've
do
already
get to enjoy
qualified.
it.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, but that first place, it could make all the difference being the first seed, because you might head into the tournament facing against perhaps one of the stronger teams that we've had today that didn't quite make it through the bracket. They might come back next week, and you don't want to have to face down a strong opponent round 1, even if you are coming in as the favorite, as it were. It's, in this second round here, Jadon and Boz up in the lead, but Wizzy keeping up right behind them. It's strange to see the difference in drift lines going into that sausage block there, but it doesn't seem to make a overall difference to the time.
Oh,
Although
that's
Wizzy
going to make
has
an
gone
overall
wide
difference to the
and
time.
crashed. That is going to make a big overall difference to the time.
Yeah, bit significant that one.
Yeah.
So,
That is a
easy
big one.
ace coming out for Geese Can Fly here, as they will move into a 5-1 lead. And on the previous map, when we joined, where it looked like it could be, a single round away for victory for Wolves, to get that seed 1, suddenly it's looking a lot sketchier.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes with these matches. You have to reset. You have to center yourself again between maps, and if you lose out on a close match, believing that the game was already won,
Oh no!
then sometimes you'll come into the next match and make loads of mistakes, just like Acros and Wizzy just have. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We tend to use it as a compliment to say when, teams are flying in formation. That isn't quite what we were looking for.
Flying information into the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, both with the exact same clip there. That'll be one I'm sure they will have nightmares looking over. But for now, that throws it as another ace to Boz and Jadon.
Well,
I don't
assuming
expect
they
either
can
of these
both
players to
finish
make
okay.
mistakes here. Only a few more corners to go. 2 very experienced players. Shouldn't be any mistakes. Nothing can go wrong.
I
Yes, it happened.
you
I
did
got the goal.
You did it!
I did it!
I could
Yes!
feel you channeling it. I could feel you channeling it. It was in your voice, I could tell. Damn it, Padster. Every time.
Someone clip that, please. That is the best cast curse I have ever done. I am so proud of that.
Jadon has
yeah,
just
it's
been
probably fair.
murdered by Padster on stream with the power of Cast the Curse. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it is still a victory.
Still a victory. It's still
for
match
Geese
point.
Can Fly. It's still, yeah. I don't think they're gonna care too much about what I just did.
But
If they
assuming
still
they
hold
can
it together.
keep
We
it
see a
up, yeah.
mistake. We see a mistake from Acros that is going to drop him about a second behind, and
Oh,
Boz clips, Winnie clips. No one
Boz
wants to
clips.
finish this round.
it's Jadon out in front, but I mean, you know what we've been saying for the past few matches
Yeah.
about. Oh, never mind.
Wizzy is currently doing a 3-point turn. I think that is match over.
That could well
yeah.
be match over.
Wold's not looking at all happy on Wildfire here, it's got to be said. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we are going to see Boz even going for the
Oh. Oh my god.
No way.
Fadster, what have you done? What have you done?
Boz crashes the safe finish.
I don't know how he did that. How did he do that?
Oh, this entire map is utter cinema.
It's like they can hear you. It's like they can hear you. They know you want to wrap up the match, get the game over
Yeah.
and go to bed and
Exactly, and it's just not going to happen.
taking it in turns.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
partly it's your own fault, but with the
I mean, my
caster
first curse was mine. The second one, I was
second one
complimenting him
was-
for the
yeah.
smart decision to go for a risky fin when under no pressure. Well, go for the safe fin when under no pressure, but it doesn't happen.
Maybe that's the first time he's tried to go there and they just didn't know there was a
Perhaps.
call.
Um,
But it looks
that
like
said, this
yeah.
time again,
surely.
not quite a 3-point turn, but Wold looks so uncomfortable on Wildfire. Despite where's
Oh.
Jadon gone?
Jadon just
Where's he gone?
Jadon just respawned.
And he's
It's
had
only-
to full
it's only
respawn
Boz.
because there is a speed check there.
Uh-oh.
And Jadon isn't going to finish.
Uh-oh.
Wizzy
Wizzy!
also crashes, and that's a long old respawn he's got, but Jadon
where's
hasn't made the
Jadon?
jump yet. Wizzy is going to go for safe
Wizzy's gonna
finish with
safe in.
double slow-mo. He should still make it in.
Oh my... Why was...
Jadon,
Jadon still went for the risky there? Oh no.
hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's
I mean,
fourth. He's fourth. It doesn't even matter if he finishes or not. There's no punishment.
It doesn't matter
So-
yet, but I mean, just you wait. Geese Can Fly could make two big mistakes here, and then instantly it's a double ace and back round the other way. And they're both behind right now, so it's... Oh, never mind.
Wizzy has a mistake. The players are tired. The players are fed up. They are, you know... All of these players as well, 3 of these players, I think only Jadon wasn't involved in Beacon Qualifier.
Yeah, I mean,
with
they've all
Wizzy-
had long days.
Yeah, Wizzy in particular had to play the entire duration of it, pretty much, to qualify alongside Mudder. Boz and Tween made it a bit quicker, but still a long
Jadon.
day. So
Jadon
Jadon
has crashed.
fails that jump again, but Boz is there, and Boz just needs to go and finish the track, and he's
Boz
not
clipped.
going to do it. That is an
No
ace
way.
for Walls.
No way!
As this
What did I
match
say?
stays alive for Walls. The only good thing I can say is
Look,
this is the final round
I called it.
because
I called
a
it.
9-7 scoreline.
No, yeah, 9-7
The
has
match
to be won by
ends.
someone. It has to be
Wizzy
won by
clips.
someone. Wizzy clips.
Wizzy
Okay.
has no interest in finishing a clean round on this track, but that can be said of all the players.
Yeah, I mean, this is important. This is for first seed. I mean, both teams
Yeah.
have qualified, but
These
you
are
do
the two
want to
teams
win
who-
this. Like,
These are the two teams who did the best in qualifier. I almost want to say other teams need to take a long look at themselves in the mirror, considering what we're just watching now. But Akros in the lead. It's not going to matter because he needs Wizzy there. He needs the ace. So if Jadon makes this jump, which he does,
which he does.
and Boz can finish, if a pair of them just keep it together,
Just keep it. Yeah.
Akros can
Just
win,
safe.
but it's not going to
Crash
matter. The
finish.
match is finally over, taking Not the long way round, the longest way round.
The longest possible way round that scoreline could have gone.
Yeah, it goes 10-8. Geese can fly after a few attempts to get off the ground. And we have your Seed 1. Boz and Jaden will be heading to the LAN in Seed 1 as favourites ahead of Wolds. We also then have the duos of Josh and Key as of Evo Esports qualifying. And finally, Moonvale being Epos and Divino. That is the wrap. We have our first 4 qualified teams. We will be back again next week.
Well,
for possibly even more chaos. We're going to see.
Before we go, I have one more thing to talk about. One more little bitty thing to talk about for everybody who has signed or has bought a ticket so far to the event. You may be aware that we've got ourselves a partnership with Wooting, a keyboard company, and they have handed us, as you may have been seeing here throughout the whole stream going on, a pair of uwus that we can give out on the day. So,
yeah, for anyone who has a ticket,
you have a chance to win these on the day when we get to the finals in April. So look forward to that, everybody.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what an uwu is and doesn't know about exactly something worth getting excited with, that it is a small set of free analog keys, which works surprisingly well for Trackmania. Our very own Miles, who is a player who's been improving rapidly, real shame he can't actually play, uses an uwu as the main input device. So yeah it's I was, I wouldn't mind winning it, but I don't think I'm allowed. I am not giving chat my finest. Okay. Let that never be clipped. Let that never be clipped.
Somebody clip it, please.
I want to die. But yeah, huge thanks to Wooting for helping us with this event. They're going to be providing the two awoos there for anyone who comes, and of course we have 2 top-end keyboards available for the winners, who will get that, along with a fair chunk of a £600 prize pool. Now, as much as we are pushing the tickets remaining, that's a bit light. Is the ticket singular remaining? There is one left.
Remaining, yes. There's one singular ticket.
There is
left.
a chance more will be released. We're going to have to see.
Watching, there's a chance more will be released in the future. There's one ticket that is currently available, as far as I'm aware, unless one of you slunk off and bought it already. So yeah, if you want to attend, if you want a chance to get one of these uwus, then yeah, there is one ticket left. You can find the link to the tickets in the BITM server in TOT info very easily. It's also on the I think it's also linked in the rulebook as well, which is also linked there. So yeah.
Yeah. And if you're into and if anyone is on 2 minds about whether to go, we've just seen some of the matches here. Admittedly, maybe that last match didn't showcase the absolute pinnacle of British Trackmania. But, there's been some great matches. And there's going to be another month for the players to improve, to get better. We got another 4 teams coming. It should be really, really good fun. So, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
We're going to leave it here for today. It has been a pleasure casting this, and I hope everyone has enjoyed. I'm going to have to go and get some clips from that last match. That was absolutely hilarious.
It was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, but... yeah, we're going to leave it for now. Thanks for joining, and we will see you this time next week for Qualifier number 2 to see who are the last 4 teams booking a ticket to Trent on Track.